I guess to sum everything up, I think there's one word that can say it, and that's thanks. Thanks to baseball for everything it's given to me. Thanks to the Dodgers for everything that they've given me. And that goes for everybody in the entire organization. And also to go along with thanks, I think that I've got to thank Wall for the opportunity he gave me when I first came up and stayed with me through thick and thin for many years. And to every ball player who was on a Dodger uniform beside me, I wish to thank them for everything that they've done. Because if that had been for them, why, I would be standing right here today. I think that I owe an awful lot to my wife, who stayed behind me through thick and thin and managed to kind of go along and grasp all the different ends that were falling apart at certain times and pull them back together. And thanks to my parents who gave me the opportunity to be able to play baseball and sacrificed a lot in those days to give me the chance to travel around and be able to play. And an awful lot of thanks to the committee to this day, Al Gilardi, who headed the committee, Danny Goodman, Red Madison, and everybody connected. Gentlemen, thanks for coming out today. I'll never forget it, and I can't thank you enough. I think most of all, it's last but not least that I want to thank God for giving me the strength and giving me the arm to last as long as it did without giving out too early. Because it's been a great career. I would recommend it for any boy that has a chance to be able to play baseball. And thanks to the fans of Los Angeles, to the press, to the news media, radio and television, everybody, it's been just great, and I'll never forget it, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Here at Dodger Stadium, a tremendous round of applause for Don Drysdale. It is Don Drysdale Day, and in the concluding ceremonies, you heard Don's remarks, and they were certainly well chosen and well spoken and well presented by one of the all-time greats in Dodger history, Don Drysdale, who officially says so long, farewell, and goodbye to his friends and his teammates here at Dodger Stadium this afternoon. And in a few moments, the field will be cleared, and we'll have the start of the ball game between the Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants coming up. The ceremonies lasted about 40 minutes, and they were certainly impressive. And one of the highlights was the appearance of Sandy Koufax when he and Don posed for quite a while after the presentation by Sandy of his plaque. Right now, they are being presented, taking pictures on the field down below in front of the Dodger dugout. So Don Drysdale Day, and Old Lang Syne in the background. Kind of a touching and a fitting ceremony here this afternoon at Dodger Stadium, and a nice crowd on hand to witness it all. Now to the business at hand. It will be Mike McCormick and Claude Osteen as we get set to go in today's ball game here at Dodger Stadium. We'll have the starting lineups coming up for you right after this message. Now the batting orders for the ball game today. For San Francisco, it will be Tito Fuentes leading off, playing third base. The second baseman will be Ron Hunt. Hunt batting second and playing second. Willie Mays in center field. Willie Mccovey will be at first base. Bobby Bonds in right field. Jim Davenport will be making his major league debut in left field for the Giants. Jim, throughout his entire career, has been an infielder, and he's going to play left field today. Jack Hyatt will be doing the catching. Hal Lanier at shortstop. And the pitcher will be Mike McCormick. Mike beat the Dodgers last Friday in Candlestick Park and began their losing streak. The Dodgers hope to turn it around on Mike here today. For the Dodgers, the batting order, Maury Wills at shortstop. Manny Mota in left field. Willie Davis in center field. Andy Costco will be in the fourth spot playing in right field. Jim Lefevre at third base. Ted Sizemore is at second. Wes Parker at first base. Jeff Torborg, the catcher. And Claude Osteen will be the pitcher. So it is Osteen with 19 and 15 going on the mound today. And Claude is trying to join some illustrious company who are right at this moment posing for pictures down alongside the Dodger dugout. He's trying to become the third pitcher in Los Angeles Dodger history to win 20 games. The other two are Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax. Don Drysdale hit it twice and Sandy 3 times. And Osteen will try to do it today, and Bill Singer will try to do it tomorrow against the Giants and Juan Marichal. On the scoreboard, the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros are trying to eliminate the Cincinnati Reds. Atlanta is winning now 3-2 over San Diego in the 8th inning. Houston is winning 4-3 over Cincinnati in the 8th inning. If the Astros beat the Reds and the Atlanta Braves beat San Diego, the Reds are out, and it then would become a two-team battle to the finish between the Giants and Atlanta. The magic number for Atlanta over the Giants is 4, and over Cincinnati 2, which means any combination of wins or losses that add up to those numbers, 4 and 2, would eliminate the team. In other words, Cincinnati, the number is 2. If they lose and the Braves win, that adds up to the 2, and Cincinnati will then be out. And they wind up the season in Atlanta, ironically. Atlanta, if they win today, would then hope for the Dodgers to pull a win over the Giants and remove the number down to 2. And by tomorrow, they might be able to wind it up if they were to sweep, and the Dodgers were also to win tomorrow. So the Wild Wild West rapidly running out of games now. After today, the Braves will have 3 games left to play at home. One against San Diego tomorrow, and on Tuesday and Thursday against Cincinnati at home. The Giants, after today, have 1 left here and 3 at home. So they will have 4 left after today, and the Reds will have 2 on the road, 1 tomorrow at home against the Houston Astros. The Mets, of course, picked up the win in the Eastern Division, and they're getting set for the playoffs now. And today they're playing in New York and leading 1-0 over Philadelphia, with Tom Seaver trying to get his 25th win. Denny McLean got his 24th today for Detroit, beating Boston by a score of 2-1. The Yankees beat Baltimore 1-0. Peterson over Harden. And Washington over Cleveland 3-2. That is the final. Moore the winner and Ellsworth the loser. It is 4-0. Chicago leading Kansas City in the 8th inning at Chicago. Minnesota at Seattle tonight. Now Don Drysdale and his wife Ginger, Dottie Scully, being driven off the field in a Toyota Land Cruiser, and they will leave after very impressive ceremonies here at Dodger Stadium on Don Drysdale Day. Also on the scoreboard, the Angels play at Oakland a little later on, McLaughlin against Hunter. Running down the scores at the end of 7, Atlanta 3, San Diego 2, Fisk and Dukes for San Diego and Reed for Atlanta. It is 4-3, Houston over Cincinnati in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ray relieved by Gladding in the 8th. Merritt, Carroll, and Ryban for Cincinnati. The Reds are trying to pull it out and stay alive. Jesus Alua home run for Houston. Alex Johnson and Johnny Bench home runs for Cincinnati. New York 1, Philadelphia 0 in the 8th inning. Seaver against Jackson. No score, St. Louis at Montreal. Royce for St. Louis and Robertson for Montreal. It is Pittsburgh 4. The Chicago Cubs 1 in the 7th inning at Pittsburgh. The umpires are out, and the Dodgers now take the field. The Dodgers going out. Haller behind the plate. Osteen to the mound, trying for number 20. At first base, Wes Parker. At second, Sizemore. At third, Maury Wills. Rather short Maury Wills at third, Jimmy Lefevre. In the outfield, Mota in left, Davis in center, and Costco in right field. A bit of a hazy day, but not too warm. Nice day for the ball game here, and a good crowd on hand on Don Drysdale Day here at Dodger Stadium. One left between the Dodgers and the Giants. That will be tomorrow. Juan Marichal against Bill Singer. Juan is 120. Bill will be trying for his 20th. He's 119. So Osteen tries it today, and Singer tries it again tomorrow, and they both will have another turn with the Houston series coming in on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But they both, of course, would like to do it right now against the San Francisco Giants who began the Dodgers skid last week. So the Giants try to stay alive, and Atlanta keeps on winning. They carry a 7-game winning streak into today's game against San Diego, and they have one more left. Osteen 0-2 this year and 4-10 a lifetime against the Giants, and Mike McCormick, who goes for the Giants against the Dodgers, has won one and lost one this year. His lifetime record is 15-13 against the Dodgers. Mike is 11-9 against the league and an earned run average of 3.39. The umpires today will be Kibler at the plate, Olson, Barlick, and Fargo on the bases. So ready to go on Don Drysdale Day here at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. And now for the play-by-play, here's Ben Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good day to you, wherever you may be. Don Drysdale Day has been duly celebrated here at Dodger Stadium, the scene of his many triumphs, and perhaps this the most triumphant of all, as his teammates and friends, people in the newspaper and radio business, and the fans themselves all paid one last moment of tribute for all the thrills and excitement that he gave all of us down through the years. And the only thing that shakes you up, and as long as you are in baseball, you cannot get over it yet, is to be saying goodbye to someone and thanking someone for all of their accomplishments and for all their many years on the scene, and then have that someone explain how fortunate he was to have lasted all that time. And then when he leaves, you realize he is 33 years old. Tito Fuentes will start it off. Then Ron Hunt and Willie Mays. At the top of the 8th inning, San Diego went out 1-2-3, so we can update the scoreboard a little bit more. And they're now in the bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta, and the Braves are leading the Padres 3-2. Tito Fuentes leading it off, the switch hitter, batting right-handed. Osteen into the windup and delivers, and the next one is high and away. Ossie Virgil coaching at third, and Tito has a look at him to see if they'll have the hitter take sign. Wes Westrom coaching at first. The Giants had a little fun during the pregame celebrations honoring Drysdale. The pitch to Fuentes is on the corner for a strike, 2-1. And it was the pixiest Willie Mays as captain of the Giants and the longtime foe, with quotes around the word foe, of Drysdale. And Mays came out ostensibly to present Drysdale with a picture poster of Drysdale in action. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Line drive inside third and down the line. So Fuentes stings one, rounds first, goes halfway, and then jogs into second with a stand-up double. And with nobody out, Ron Hunt will be coming up. To conclude the Giants and their gags before the game, the Giants were kidding about what they would do. Oh, they would have Willie Mccovey present Drysdale with his bat. Then they were going to have Dick Dietz with his arm in a sling come up because of that 3-2 pitch, you remember, that hit Dietz with the bases loaded. And various things. What they finally settled for was Mays coming to home plate, presenting Don with the picture poster and what looked like a box lunch under his arm until he opened it up. And Willie said he wanted Don to feel at home. And he presented him with a bottle of hair tonic and a jar of Vaseline. And, of course, that broke up the house. They added just the proper amount of laughs to the ceremonies, and it was a perfect touch. The Giants and the Dodgers on Don Drysdale Day. All right, Fuentes is second. Nobody out. Here is Ron Hunt. He takes low and inside, ball one. As soon as we get a further report out of Atlanta, you shall have it. Rico Carty in the bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta, with the Braves leading 3-2, has just doubled. So Carty is at second with nobody out. He hit a home run in the 6th inning to tie up the game. They're leading 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Hunt. Sprayed foul off first base, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants and the Dodgers, and the Giants have really given the Dodgers a bad time. They have won 12 of 16. They've won 5 of 7 at Dodger Stadium, and they've won 7 of 9 at Candlestick. This could be the most successful Giant stand against the Dodgers in many years. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Curveball hit and speared by Parker. He goes to Wills. They double up Pointed. So the double play, 3-6 from Wes Parker to Maury Wills. Tito Fuentes hung out to dry on the play. And now here comes Willie Mays. In 1967, the Giants won 13 out of 18, and this club has won 12 of 16. The most victories that the San Francisco Giants ever piled up against the Los Angeles Dodgers was in the first year out here in 1958. Mays, it's a line drive off Will's glove and on out into left center. Willie with a bad leg gets to first and holds on, and boy, he ripped that one. Before Mccovey, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
In Phoenix, Arizona, KTAR, Radio 620.
Taking care of your car is the prime concern of the trained technicians at Bake Paint Body Shop, 2838 East Washington, Phoenix, where you could use your Arizona Bank, Bank of America.
Here's Willie Mccovey with Mays at first base. 2 out in the first inning, no score. In 1958, the Giants beat the Dodgers 16 times. But in those days, there were 22 games instead of the current 18. Carty opened up the bottom of the 8th in Atlanta with a double, and Orlando Cepeda then lined out. So Carty is still at second with 1 away. Here's Willie Mccovey. Mays at first and 2 down. Osteen's breaking ball is low and away, ball 1. On deck, Bobby Bond. Mccovey with 44 home runs, 123 runs batted in. 1-0 the count. Osteen at the belt and delivers. Breaking ball over for a strike in the count, 1-1. At the end of 8 innings at Cincinnati, Houston leading the Reds 4-3. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball up, ball 2. 2-1. Cincinnati had been reduced to that so-called magic number of 2, meaning any Atlanta wins and Cincinnati defeats. Well, Atlanta is leading and Cincinnati is losing, so the lights could go out in Cincinnati today. 2-1, the count to Willie Mccovey. Osteen up on top, a look at Mays, leaning towards second. The pitch to Mccovey fouled away, and the count 2-2. Clete Boyer in the bottom of the 8th inning in Atlanta. Clete Boyer has just gotten a base hit to score Rico Carty. So the Atlanta Braves are now leading 4-2. Still hitting in the bottom of the 8th inning. Osteen, left foot on the rubber, set at the belt. Has a look at Mays, comes to Mccovey, outside, ball 3. Tom Dukes had come in to relieve Tommy Sisk. And after the double by Carty and the single by Boyer for the run, they have lifted Tom Dukes. San Diego will go to the bullpen again. But it's 4-2 in favor of Atlanta, still hitting in the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 pitch, Mays goes and it's fouled away. The Dodgers with Osteen and Tallborg, the infield of Parker and Sizemore, Wills and Lefebvre. The outfield of Manny Mota in left, Willie Davis in center, Andy Kosker in right. Now we get a report out of Atlanta that after a long meeting on the mound, they've decided to stay with Tom Dukes. So Dukes stays in. Boyer is at first, 4-2 Atlanta, bottom of the 8th. Osteen up on top and at the belt. The 3-2 pitch is chased and missed, strike 3. Mccovey badly fooled, and down he goes. And he doesn't strike out very often. So Mccovey very tough to strike out, chases one. No runs, 2 hits, a man left, and at the end of half an inning, the Giants nothing, and the Dodgers coming up. Say, anytime you lady fans fry up some lean, meaty Farmer John bacon for your family breakfast, you'll score a hit for sure. You see, Farmer John is the bacon with the winning flavor, and it has a medal to prove it. The gold medal it won at the California State Fair. No other bacon tastes like Farmer John bacon. Farmer John smokes it slowly and patiently over native western wood. So there's the genuine flavor of the West from tip to tip in every crackling crisp strip. And you can always count on Farmer John bacon being strictly fresh and fresh tasting. It's made from fresh eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live. Then it's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other pork is shipped in frozen or cold storage. Get a package of Farmer John bacon the next time you shop. Your very first taste will tell you why it's the most popular bacon in the West. Farmer John bacon, the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor. Bottom of the first inning, the Giants failed to score. Let's take a look at them defensively with Mike McCormick tuning up to Jack Hyatt. The infield of Willie Mccovey and Ron Hunt, Hal Lanier, and Tito Puentes. The outfield, Jimmy Davenport in left field, Willie Mays in center, and Bobby Bonds in right. The Dodgers will send up Maury Wills, Manny Mota, and Willie Davis. Wills, as he comes up to the plate, hitting .276.
Maury Wills.
Show you how the time has flown by, if you agree with that premise. Wills has played 100 games this year as a Dodger. The trade was that long ago. All right, Maury hitting right-handed. Mike McCormick into the windup and delivers, and there's a bunt foul off to the right of the plate, carrying back into the lower deck. 0-1. I'll tell you one thing. There is a fellow who's got to be fighting a few butterflies, and he is a thorough professional, and he's been in the big leagues a long time. But Jimmy Davenport in left field has sure picked some day for his debut in the outfield. Wills tries to bunt and misses. Strike 2. Jimmy Davenport has never played the outfield anywhere professionally, and he is playing today in a large ballpark on a hazy, sunshiny day with a shirt-sleeve crowd. He has really picked a dandy. McCormick reading Hyatt. Now the strike 2 pitch to Maury Wills, taken down and away, ball 1, 1-2. The Braves settle for that 1 run in the 8th inning. So the San Diego Padres come to the plate in the 9th inning, and the Braves leading San Diego 4-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wills. Fastball fouled away, upstairs off to the right, and it's still 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to Maury Wills. Manny Mota to follow, then Willie Davis. Mike McCormick leans in to read Hyatt. Now the left-hander's 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled off. Ron Reed, the big right-hander, is now pitching the 9th inning in Atlanta, with the Braves leading the Padres 4-2. Wills at the plate, McCormick into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch, screwball high and away, ball 2, 2-2. McCormick pitched one of his better games of the year against the Dodgers at Candlestick. He beat Osteen and the Dodgers 5-1, pitching a 5-hitter. Here's a 2-2 pitch. It's hit to left center field. Mays going over, gimpy leg and all. He's there to make the catch. So Wills a long out to left center, and the batter will be Manny Mota.
Left fielder, Manny Mota.
Manny Mota hitting .320. Mota was telling us before the ballgame he's happy about some good news. He has been living with the thought for quite some time that his left elbow would have to be operated on again. However, now he tells us they do not feel he will need another operation. He take the breaking ball low, ball one. Mota said that he has been advised to rest the left elbow, to undergo a carefully and rigid set of exercises. Mota takes outside, ball two, 2-0. So Mota, who became a proud daddy again this year, will have a chance to not to play winter ball, but to stay home, visit with the family, let that left elbow heal. And then, as he said, maybe I play every day next year. He slices one foul off first base, carrying upstairs, and the count 2-1. For the Dodgers, and they are not to be interpreted as excuses, but only as milestones in the season. Mota's sore elbow, Brewer's bad back, Parker's appendectomy, they all contributed to the ball club eventually just running the ground. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and Mota fouls it back to the wire, and the count 2-2. Final score, Houston beats Cincinnati 4-3. That means the Reds' number is 1, and it is almost up, because the Padres are up in the 9th inning in Atlanta, and the Braves are leading 4-2. So if the Braves win that ball game, it then settles down to an issue between Atlanta and San Francisco. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Mota. Sprayed foul upstairs, still 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Manny Mota. Seeing that number 11 on his back brings to mind again this is Don Drysdale Day. He takes low, ball 3. It seems so hard to believe that 11 years ago, after the Dodgers concluded a game at the Coliseum, the big reception for Ginger and Don Drysdale, 11 years ago today. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Hit foul again off first base upstairs. A report out of Atlanta. The San Diego Padres are up in the 9th inning, and the first batter, right-hand hitting outfielder Ivan Morel, just struck out. That is the 13th strikeout in the game for Ron Reed. So the big right-hander is really bearing down. Mota hits one down the right field line, foul. Still 3-2. So to repeat, 1 out in the 9th in Atlanta. The Braves leading the Padres 4-2. And the crowd in Atlanta apparently so excited right now, very difficult to restrain. So 13 strikeouts in 8 1/3 innings for Ron Reed. Braves 4, Padres 2, 1 out in the 9th. Willie Davis on deck. McCormick into his windup. Mike Ruddy in the 3 pitch is hit down the right field line again, foul and out of play. So he's gone 3-2 to Mota, and they've been fouling him off. McCormick checks with Jack Hyatt. Now into the windup, and the 3-2 pitch on the way. High, ball 4. Here's Willie Davis. Willie Davis hitting .311, 11 home runs, 59 runs batted in. He's lost about 11 points the last 2 weeks. In fact, he has had trouble hitting the same night that he hurt his knee. He's lost a precious step or 2 and going to first base. McCormick looks at Mota, and he goes, and the pitch is hit to center, but that's where Mays makes a living, and Willie makes the catch. Add Mota back to first base. A report out of Atlanta. Van Kelly, a left-hand hitting third baseman, appeared as a pinch hitter against Ron Reed and made out. So there are 2 outs in the 9th inning in Atlanta. The Braves 4, San Diego 2. Tommy Seaver of the Mets just won his 25th game as he won 1-0. A 3-hitter over Philadelphia. That's a back-to-back shutout job against the Phils. Kuzman won it last night, his 17th. So they are really sharpening up. McCormick at the belt, looks at Mota and works Andy Costco and gets a strike. The batter in Atlanta with 2 out in the 9th inning and the base is empty is the right-hand hitting infielder Ed Spezio. Strike 1 on Spezio. So not only the Giants, but the Reds are going to feel an Atlanta victory today. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Costco outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Reds lost, so Houston beat them 4-3, and if the Braves win, Cincinnati is shot down. The count to Spezio is 1-1 with 2 out in the 9th inning in Atlanta. 4-2 Braves. Now it's 1-2 as Spezio swung and missed, so they're down to their last strike. The pitch to Costco, fouled away. The crowd in Atlanta, as you can well imagine, going wild. Ron Reed has struck out 13. 2 out in the 9th. Reed trying to win his 18th. Andy Costco waiting with Manny Mota at first base and 2 out in the first inning, no score. The count to Spezio in Atlanta. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McCormick set at the belt, has a look at Mota, now kicks and Manny goes, a pitch out. Hyatt's throw down. They get him. On the pitch out, Ron Hunt applying the tag. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Ed Spezio has just flied out in Atlanta. The game is all over. The Braves have beaten San Diego 4-2. Cincinnati has been eliminated. And here at Dodger Stadium at the end of 1, no score.
Camp West Industries, located at 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, is camper headquarters in the Valley. It's the home of Tramper Camper, the quality-built camper that offers more for your camper dollar. And the beautiful Travette, the Cadillac of campers. Camp West features many accessories for your camper. In fact, everything that goes in, on, or around a camper. If the call of the desert, a rushing stream, tall pines, and the outdoors is your pleasure, a camper is the answer. Build your own. Camp West Industries has everything you need to do just that. But whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or prefer the ready-made type for quality campers and camper accessories, the place to see is Camp West at 2802 Grand Avenue. Easy to get to, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway on Grand Avenue. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. So before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer. For quality, price, and service, that's Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix.
To the second inning, no score in the ball game. The Giants and the Dodgers. To repeat, Houston beat Cincinnati 4-3. Atlanta beat San Diego 4-2. Cincinnati has been eliminated from the pennant race in the Western Division. And the Wild West is now slowly but surely settling down. The Braves remain a game and a half in front. Technically, as of the moment, they are 2 in front. It will increase to 2.5 or revert to 1.5, depending upon a Giant victory or defeat here today. Bobby Bonds, Jimmy Davenport, and Jack Hyatt. Bonds, with 31 home runs, 86 runs batted in, while on the way to setting a strikeout record. Takes a curve low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch by Claude, breaking ball, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Osteen reading Talborg. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball hit inside third and down the line. Racing over is Mota, and Bonds is on his way for 2, and he'll make it easily. So Bobby Bonds doubles. That means 2 balls have been hit inside the bag. One of 2 things. The Dodgers playing Lefevre wide of the bag. So either they are not expecting the right-hand batters to pull Osteen as much, Or perhaps Osteen is not exactly putting the ball where he wants to. So a double by Bobby Bonds, and the batter will be Jim Davenport. Osteen was a very fortunate man in the first inning. Fuentes doubled. Hunt hit a line drive that was caught by Parker, and they doubled Fuentes off. Then Mays promptly hit a line drive that almost took Will's glove off, and he finally struck out Mccovey on a 3-2 pitch. He's right back in a jam as Bonds opens with a double. For Bob, his 25th double of the year. He and Mccovey tied at that number. Here's Jim Davenport, hitting .244, jack of all trades, particularly so now as he makes his debut professionally in the outfield. He takes a curveball low, ball 1. They were kidding Davenport before the game, saying you should have played left field last night when Gaylord Perry had the Dodgers hitting the ball on the ground. There was only one fly ball in the entire game. The 1-0 pitch to Davenport, a strike, 1-1. Davenport said, no way. If Perry had known I was going to play the outfield, he'd have gotten into an argument with the manager. But Jimmy is in left field today. 1 ball and 1 strike. Second inning, no score. Osteen comes back with a fastball that gets the outside corner at the knees, and the count 1-2. Ford has never had much success with the Giants. He's beaten them 4 times and lost to them 10. 1-2 to Jimmy Davenport. Jack Hyatt on deck. Osteen ready, and the 1-2 pitch on the way is hit off the hands to the right side, so he got his man over. Sizemore throws Davenport out at first base, but Jimmy did his job, moving Bonds to third. And with 1 out, catcher Jack Hyatt coming up. Dodger infield plays up, and Jack Hyatt, right-hand hitting catcher at the plate. Trying to pick up Bonds. Osteen ready and delivers. Fastball for a strike. Pittsburgh beat the Cubs 4-1. Blass won his 16th, and Ken Holtzman the loser. That game was played at Pittsburgh. 0-1 to Jack Hyatt. Osteen into the windup, and the strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball low, 1-1. Pittsburgh will have a new manager next year. Larry Shepard had been released. Philadelphia announced that George Myatt would not resume managing next year. Frank Lucchese, a minor league manager and a most successful one in the Phillies organization, will manage next year. The pitch to Hyatt, a strike, and the count 1-2. Bobby Bonds at third base, 1 out in the second inning, no score. Osteen left foot on the rubber. Now into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch. Half swing, but he held up. Plate umpire Kibler shaking his head no. Andy Olson umpiring at first. Al Barlick, the senior umpire in the National League, at second. Ed Vargo at third. On deck, infielder Hal Lanier. 2-2 to Jack Hyatt. Osteen looks at Bonds into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch is inside, ball 3. So pitching very carefully to the right-hand hitting catcher. Lanier, a switch hitter on deck. Willie Davis slightly off the mark towards right center. Osteen into the windup. Bonds bluffs down the line, and the curve is low, ball 4. So Hyatt trots to first. Bonds to third, and that will bring up Lanier. Will comes in from shortstop to talk to Osteen. Claude has allowed 2 doubles and a single and a walk in an inning and the third, but so far no score. The Atlanta Braves, by winning today, have now won 91 games. They have 3 left tomorrow with San Diego, and then 2 left at home with Cincinnati. The Giants are trying to win their 89th game. They have 1 more here tomorrow, and they go home to host San Diego for 3. Osteen delivers. Good breaking ball over for a strike. 0-1. 0-1 to count to Hal Lanier. Infield back in double play depth as Osteen goes to a stretch. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball hit foul off first base out of play. Going into the lower deck, and the count 0-2. The finale between the Giants and the Dodgers. That comes tomorrow. Bill Singer and Juan Marichal. Singer trying to get his 20th. It'll be his 4th try. That's tomorrow. 0-2 to Hal Lanier. Torborg setting a target. The strike 2 pitch to Lanier is fouled away again off first out of play. 0-2. On deck, Mike McCormick. Lanier waiting. Osteen reading Torborg. Barnes down the line from third. Hyatt short lead at first. The pitch to Lanier, a half swing foul, just protecting that plate. So it's still 0-2. He didn't have a good swing. Lanier with 35 runs batted in. Picked up a couple of big ones against the Dodgers in the recent series at Candlestick. 0-2 to Hal Lanier. Osteen ready and checks the runners. The left-handed delivers, and there's a high pop-up around the plate. Parker, with the play in front of him, comes down and makes the catch, and the run is whole. So Lanier pops up, and the batter will be Mike McCormick. McCormick is a good hitting pitcher. He has 9 hits, including a double and a home run, and 4 runs batted in.
Batting ninth, number 40, pitcher Mike McCormick.
Mike McCormick. Left-hand batter against left-hander Claude Osteen with 2 out in the second inning, no score. Osteen wants this one badly, of course, trying to win his 20th. Hands at his sides, and Torborg setting a target. Osteen looks at the runners, and the first one low and away. Ball 1. The count. Osteen back with a fastball high, and suddenly he's behind to McCormick. 2 balls and no strikes. Now Osteen ready. The 2-0 pitch to McCormick. Swung on and missed. I think he went after ball 3. It was a fastball that ran high and in on him, but he had committed himself already. So McCormick going after a bad ball, and that eases the pressure a little bit. Instead of it being 3-0 on Mike, it's 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. Fastball right in there. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike McCormick. Bobby Bonds at third. Jack Hyatt at first. Second inning, no score. The Braves won, the Reds lost, so they close up shop in Cincinnati. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball lifted to shallow right. Sizemore on the rim, inside the right field line, and makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score.
Look up, for the fight is going to travel the west. Look up to 76. Keep your eye on the number that's above all the rest. Look up to 76. Look up to 76 for certified service. It's your assurance that the work a Union 76 serviceman does on your car will be done right the first time. Your Union 76 certified service dealer is a professional when it comes to service because he's been given the kind of intensive training he needs to handle the routine jobs and emergency repairs that keep your car safely and surely on the go. He's been to school, studied advanced technical manuals, and he's passed rigorous exams to earn his certified service stripes. Now, look up to 76 for certified service. It's your assurance that the work a Union 76 serviceman does on your car will be done right the first time. Your Union 76 certified service dealer is a professional when it comes to service because he's been given the kind of intensive training he needs to handle the routine jobs and emergency repairs that keep your car safely and surely on the go. He's been to school, studied advanced technical manuals, and he's passed rigorous exams to earn his certified service stripes. Now, who do you look up to for service? When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
Bottom of the second inning. No score. The Giants have 2 doubles and a single and a walk, but they've been turned away. The Dodgers now against Mike McCormick will have Andy Costco, Jim Lefevre, and Ted Sizemore. Costco was left of the plate when the Giants pitched out and got Mota easily trying to steal in the first inning. Andy Costco will start it off. Costco hitting .249. He has 18 home runs, 72 runs batted in. McCormick poised on the rubber as he looks in. Now Mike to the windup and the first pitch to Costco. Curveball hit to the hole, a scrambling stop by Lanier. The throw gets him. Fine play by Hal as he backhanded the ball and dropped to his knee. Still able to throw out Costco. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
In Phoenix, KTAR Radio 620.
Animal lovers and pet fanciers appreciate the personal service received at East Washington Animal Hospital, 7140 North 16th Street, Phoenix, where you can use your
Here's Jim Lefevre.
Bank America.
Lefevre hitting .230 with 4 home runs, 39 runs batted in. McCormick's fastball over for a strike, 0-1. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, fastball over, strike 2, 0-2. Strike 2 pitch on the way. McCormick goes inside at the knees. Ball 1. 1-2 to Jim Lefevre. 1 out, second inning, no score. Giants and Dodgers, second game of the 3-game series. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Jim Lefevre. Taken low, screwball, 2-2. Two strikes to Jim Lefevre. McCormick checks with Hyatt. Mike ready, and the 2-2 pitch, curveball, hit up long third, foul. One-handed by Danny Ozark. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Beaver waiting for McCormick. Mike into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball, low, ball 3. So he gave him a screwball and a curve, tried to set him for the fastball, and missed low with it. And he's gone all the way. Three and 2 to Jim Lefevre. McCormick ready, and Mike delivers. Fastball hit towards right field, but that's where Bonds is. Bobby backs up, makes the catch for the out. 2 down in the second inning. The batter, Ted Sizemore. Sizemore hitting .270, 3 home runs, 45 runs batted in. The Dodgers are trying to snap 2 streaks. They have lost 8 in a row. They've also lost 6 straight to the Giants. They have McCormick today and Marichal tomorrow. The pitch to Sizemore. Breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. 1 o'clock game tomorrow. Then Monday an open date. And Tuesday night, the Houston Astros. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Low with a fastball. 1-1. The Astros will be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. McCormick into the windup, and the 1-1 pitch to Sizemore popped up on the right side. Ron Hunt, sunglasses down, still fighting a little haze, and makes the catch. And so the Dodgers are gone, 1-2-3. And at the end of 2, no score. Well, you know, we Americans have many traditions, some large, some so small you probably never think of them unless they're missing. Like, have you ever gone to a movie theater and found they don't have popcorn? Well, it's just not right, is it? You just should have a big box of hot buttered popcorn at the movies. Thanksgiving certainly wouldn't be Thanksgiving without turkey, cranberries, pumpkin pie. Or if you're camping, what about hot dogs and baked beans and hot dogs at the ballpark, right? Of course, at a baseball game, a man has to have something cold to go with that hot dog. How about a good ice-cold beer? And to my way of thinking, that beer's got to be a Bergie. It's as important as that Thanksgiving pumpkin pie tasting just like Mother used to make. What's so special about Bergie? I guess it's that light, easy-going taste. It's comfortable. So comfortable you can keep on drinking it even if the game goes into extra innings. I guess that's a pretty darn good way to judge a beer. So go ahead, open up a Bergie to go along with the ball game. After all, baseball and Bergie's practically a tradition. In fact, might even put that ahead of Mom's pumpkin pie. The end of 2, no score in the ball game, and the 2 big scores to pass along to you. The Atlanta Braves beat San Diego 4-2. The Houston Astros beat Cincinnati 4-3. So Cincinnati has now been mathematically eliminated. Atlanta remains out in front, and the Giants have to win to remain 1.5 back. So let's go to the third and find out more about it. And for more play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny, top of the order. Tito Fuentes coming on. Third baseman doubled down the left field line, then was doubled off second base on a liner by Hunt to first base. Fuentes batting from the right side, and Claude Osteen set to work. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. Fastball comes in for a strike, 0-1. Osteen in his 4th effort to try to get his 20th win. Singer goes after tomorrow. 0-1 the count as Fuentes backs out. Now the pitch on the way. Bounce towards the left side. Wills in the hole up with a long throw is in time and Fuentes out, rounding to short. 1 up and 1 down, and the batter will be Ron Hunt. Hit a soft liner to Parker in the first inning, and the Dodgers turned it into a double play. So Hunt is the batter. Willie Mays due up next. The Braves getting closer. Their magic number is 3 now. The Dodgers trying to make it 2. The Giants trying to keep it at 3. One out, no score, third inning. Osteen looking for his first win of the year against the Giants. He is 0-2. Now the windup in the pitch. Curve, strike. 0-1 to Ron Hunt. Now curveball outside. 1-1 to Ron. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and nobody on base. Good crowd. Ladies' Day, Don Drysdale Day here to see the Dodgers and the Giants. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Bounced foul right at the plate. Torborg got to pick it up, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Three hits for the Giants, no hits for the Dodgers. Mike McCormick against Claude Osteen here today. 1-2. Osteen delivers to Hunt, high and away. That one turned over a little bit and moved away from the right-hand batter. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out and nobody on. The Dodgers at home this year have won 47 and lost 29. They've done very well at home. There's a bouncer to third base, and it's right on the line. Up with it is Lefebvre's long throw into Parker in time, and we have 2 outs. So Hunt rounds out the third, right on the line. 2 down, and Willie Mays, the batter, lined a single into left field his first time up. Willie batting .285, 13 homers, 58 runs batted in. The Dodgers were really done in on their road. The last 20 games on the road, they won the 2 of them. Before that, they were a good road club for the first 2/3 of the season. And a good home club all the way, 47-29. A swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch, strike 1. Mays couldn't believe that pitch. Now he's talking to Torborg about what is that. Off-speed pitch fired up there by Osteen. Strike 1 count. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. Curve is a half swing held up. The Dodgers want Kibler to appeal. And it is a strike. He got a little help from the first base umpire, Olson, who said, yeah, Mays went after it. So it is 0-2. Mays said something, and Kibler steps out there to see what he said. 0-2 the count to Willie Mays. So it is 0-2. Osteen ready to work, and the pitch on the way. Fastball away, ball 1. 1-2. There are 2 outs. The Giants batting in the third. Willie Mccovey is on deck. The Dodgers have only won 4 from the Giants, 2 here and 2 in Candlestick. There's an off-speed pitch, and it's hung into left center field. Going for it is Davis, and this ball's going to be off the wall. Mays heads for second. Here's the throw. He's safe for the double. So again, that changeup. This time Mays was waiting for it, and he doubles high off the fence at the 380 mark in left center field. Mays' second hit of the game. Willie Mccovey coming on with Bobby Bonds to follow. So Osteen, ahead on the count to Mays, gave him a second changeup, and that was the one Willie wanted. And he hit it off the fence in left field. Mccovey at bat struck out his first time up. Osteen now has a runner on base for the 3rd straight time. The Giants have 4 hits, no runs, and Osteen working to Mccovey here in the 3rd inning. Here's the look now by Claude, and the pitch to Mccovey. A swing and a miss, strike 1. Willie Mccovey going for a breaking ball, 0-1 the count. Count. Bobby Bonds on deck. Ball game is in the 3rd inning. Mays with Wills right behind him at second base. Osteen delivers. Mccovey takes a strike on a fastball. 0-2. So Big Willie backs out of there for a moment. 0-2 the count. Osteen taking his time, getting a sign from Torborg. Mays off second base. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Bounce to the right side. Parker there up with it. Carries it to the bag, and Mccovey is out. So Mccovey grounds out. Leaves Mays on second. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. The score at the end of 2.5 innings. Giants nothing, Dodgers nothing.
Say, when you think of baseball, you just naturally think of hot dogs. They're go-togethers. But have you ever thought what it takes to make the perfect hot dog, or wiener, as Farmer John calls them? Well, first of all, there's the quality of the meat. Farmer John wieners are not only all meat, but the best meat. U.S. inspected, fresh eastern corn-fed pork, and fresh, lean, juicy, homegrown beef. Then there's the matter of grinding the meat. Farmer John grinds it so finely, his wieners are the smoothest you've ever tasted. Finally, of course, the flavor. Farmer John smokes his wieners just like he smokes his famous bacon over native western wood. That's why they have a wild and wonderful western flavor like no others. So if you're looking for the perfect wieners or perfect hot dogs, if you wish, look no further than Farmer John all-meat wieners. Gold medal winners at the California State Fair. And if you don't see them in your store, ask for them. Why in the world settle for anything less than the perfect wieners? Farmer John.
Mike McCormick warming up as we go to play in the last of the third. Parker, Torborg, and Osteen now against the left-hander. McCormick beat the Dodgers last week, and then earlier in the week, this week, he lost to San Diego. One of the 2 games the Padres beat the Giants. They beat McCormick and Marichal. Parker now coming on, hitting .278. And West trying to snap a slump here at the tail end of the season. Jeff Torborg due up next, and now McCormick getting set to work. In case you missed it earlier, Atlanta beat San Diego 4-2, and Houston eliminated Cincinnati 4-3. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball bounced to the left side. Fuentes gets a big hop. Throw in time, and Parker is out. 1 pitch, 1 away in the third. That'll bring on Torborg, who's batting .189, 7 runs batted in. New York beat Philadelphia 1-0, and Tom Seaver got his 25th. Pittsburgh beat Chicago 4-1. Glass is 16th. Holtzman the loser. It's raining in Montreal with the Cardinals leading 2-0 in the 8th inning. White Sox beat Kansas City 6-1. Washington over Cleveland 3-2. New York beat Baltimore 1-0, and Detroit over Boston 2-1. McCormick to pitch now to Torborg with Osteen out on deck. Here's Mike's windup and pitch. Screwball for strike 0-1. The Dodgers do not have a hit. They had a man on a walk, Mota, in the first inning. Then he's out trying to steal. So Mike McCormick trying to keep the Giants in the race. Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Popped up on the first base side, foul. Mccovey going out, has room. Under it now, the Willie makes the catch, 2 away. So 2 down as Osteen comes up, and McCormick at the moment making it look easy. Osteen has flanked the Giants, but he has yielded 3 doubles and a single. So it has not been easy for Claude as he comes to bat now here in the 3rd inning. McCormick now ready to go to work. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. McCormick doesn't sidearm too much. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ground ball hit right back to the middle. A base hit for Osteen. Gomer starts it off with a base hit to center. Got a fastball and laced it through the middle. Osteen has now 24 hits on the year and a .219 average before today. Here's Wills coming up. Flied out his first time at bat. All right, Morey stepping in now. Runner on at first. And McCormick ready to go to work for Wills. Fly to center, first time up. Here's the look and here's the pitch. Taken low for a ball. Morey bluffed a bunt that time to draw the third baseman in a step or 2. Ball 1, no strikes to Morey Wills. 3rd inning. Osteen on first base, short lead. Mccovey holds him on. McCormick looks right at him out of a stretch. Now the pitch to Wills. Line to the left center field, and going for this one is Davenport. It's going to be over his head. Davenport falls down. Osteen is at second. Hayes at third. Hayes with a throw toward the infield. Here comes Osteen to score, and a double by Wills. Davenport, in his first effort in the outfield, had one driven over his head by Maury Wills. Davenport, who was an excellent player, did not have a chance on that, but when he turned, he slipped and fell. But Hayes came over to retrieve, and Wills winds up at second with a long double, and it drives in the run. Osteen is in to score as Wills doubles, and here is Mota at bat. Davenport didn't have much chance to catch up with that ball as Wills hit it deep over his head. So a double for Wills to drive in the run, and here's Mota at bat trying to get another one in now. The look in the pitch. Look to the right field. Bobby Bonds is right there and makes the catch, and the inning is over. So Mota lines to right, but the Dodgers show a run, a single by Osteen, and a double for Wills. One run on 2 hits and 1 left. And the score at the end of 3 innings of play, Dodgers 1 and the Giants nothing.
Most people first learn about title insurance when they borrow money to buy a home. Mortgage lenders often require it for their protection. Since there are certain savings and advantages in your buying owner's title insurance when you provide mortgage title insurance for your lender, we feel obligated to advise you of them. It's sound business procedure for your lender to require mortgage title insurance, protecting his loan security against title defects. But this insurance only protects him. Just as the lender cannot take chances on titles being defective, we think you should not assume any such risk on the title to your home. This is why we suggest that you obtain owner's title insurance for your own protection. With most people, their home is their biggest investment. Wise property owners consider title insurance as vital as fire and other hazard insurance. It sets up a wall of protection against unknown and unseen hazards to their real estate title. Right now, as you apply for a mortgage loan, tell the lender you want an owner's policy from Arizona Title Insurance and Trust Company.
Ready to go to the 4th inning of the game now with Claude Osteen going to the mound. It was Claude who got it started with a single, and he scored on Wills' double over Davenport's head to left field. So the Dodgers have a run and take the lead against the Giants 1-0. We'll move along now into the 4th inning as Osteen begins to warm up, and we'll go back to play, and here's Finn.
All right, Jerry, we have a reminder. You know, the Dodgers are now taking orders for 1970 season box holders and those fans who did not renew their season boxes in 69, or new fans who'd like to become season ticket holders. They get on the priority list right now. Just call or write Bob Shen's, care of Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles 90012. Telephone number 225-1411. Current season box holders need not apply at this time, of course. That's Bob Shen's at Dodger Stadium. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 4 hits for the Giants. In the 4th inning, it will be Bobby Bonds, Jimmy Davenport, and Jackie Hyatt.
Bobby Bonds.
Bobby Bonds doubled inside third base. In fact, the Dodgers gave up 2 doubles inside the line, and Lefebvre now is playing closer to the line. Fuentes hit one inside the bag. Bonds did the same thing, so now they have stationed Lefebvre right at the bag. They'll give up a single. They don't want anything hit down the line. Osteen ready, and the pitch to Bonds, taken at the knees for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 to Bobby. The Dodgers trying to snap an 8-game losing streak and a 6-game losing streak to the Giants. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Bonds, taken low, 1-1. And of course, what they are also trying to do is to apply the thumb screws to the Giants, since the Braves already won this afternoon against San Diego. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Bobby Bonds, away with a fastball, ball 2, 2-1. Nice job with us, the Booster Club of San Francisco. Folks have been down here for the weekend series. 2-1 to Bobby Bonds. Osteen into the windup. Claude ready and delivers. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Slow curve, and Bob out in front of it. 2-2. Bonds waiting. Right hand hitting right fielder. Osteen, both feet on the rubber. Hit into the windup and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Good breaking ball. Strike 3 called, and Bobby knew it. So Bonds strikes out. That's strikeout number 2. And the batter is Jim Davenport, who grounded out in the second inning. Jim 0 for 1. Reacting to a final out of Madison, Wisconsin. UCLA 34, Wisconsin 23. The pitch high and outside. 1-0 to Jimmy Davenport. So the UCLA Bruins beat Wisconsin 34-23. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Davenport, a fastball low, ball 2. On deck, catcher Jack Hyatt. Osteen into the windup, and the 2-0 pitch to Davenport, a strike, 2-1. Osteen trying to become the third pitcher in Dodger history to win 20 games. That would be Los Angeles Dodger history. Don Drysdale won 20 twice. Sandy Koufax won 20 3 times. Here's the 2-1 pitch, grounded down to Sizemore. Ted is up with it, flips to Parker. 2 out, and Jack Hyatt coming up. Only 5 left-handed pitchers in modern Dodger history since 1900 have won 20 or more. Knapp Rucker, Dutch Ruther, Watson Clark, Preacher Rowe, and Sandy Koufax. And then tomorrow, Bill Singer will go after his 20th. Osteen checking signs. Hyatt waiting at the plate. And the first pitch to Jack. Slow curve. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Hyatt with 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Dodgers leading 1-0 with 2 out in the 4th inning. Osteen comes back with a change and a high fly ball to left field. It's playable. Mota is there, looks up into the haze, and makes the catch, and the inning is over. Giants are gone in order at the end of 3.5 innings. Dodgers 1, Giants 0.
Hey, Stan Kenton, who do you look up to when you want to give a new tune your own personal style?
I look to our Rangers. They know our approach and the way we look at things musically and can almost make any tune work.
Hey, Stan Kenton, who do you look up to when your car is out of tune?
I look up to 76. The maestro at my Union 76 station and his band of certified servicemen have what it takes to make an engine sing.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76. Or product and service that you want to choose. Look up to 76.
Look up to 76 for products and services to keep your car in perfect tune. The people at Union 76 have even worked up an arrangement to help you pay your bill. It's called 76 Revolving Credit.
That sounds like a helpful note.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
Bottom of the 4th inning, the Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits. The Giants no runs, 4 hits. Willie Davis will start it off. Willie flied to center in the 1st inning. Willie 0 for 1, hitting .311. Mike Mccormick, scraping at the dirt atop the rubber, now looks in to get a sign. The outfield fanned out straight away, and third baseman Fuentes plays in on the grass. First pitch to Willie is side armor low, ball 1. Mike McCormick is 1-11 and lost 9. 2-1 with the Dodgers, 15 and 13 lifetime. Mike into the windup, and the 1-0 pitch to Willie Davis. Soft curve, full foul down the right field line, caught by the ball boy alongside the tarpaulin roller. 1-1. Dodgers and Giants, second game of the 3-game series. Bill Singer against Juan Marichal tomorrow. Dodgers leading 1-0 in the fourth. 1-1 pitch. Fastball low and outside. Hyatt disagreeing with John Kibler, and he's telling him so. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hyatt talking over his right shoulder. Now Jack settles in a crouch. He's still talking over his shoulder, and Kibler now stands over him to continue the conversation. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled away. 2-2. To Willie Davis. Davis, Costco, Lefevre. The way the Dodgers stack up, the only run came with 2 out in the third. Osteen singled up the middle, and Wills doubled into left field. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. On the hands and lifted to Mays in center. Willie is right there and makes the catch. So Mays has handled a couple of fly balls, and the batter is Andy Costco. Costco hit a curveball into the hole at short. A nice backhand play by Lanier, and then a long throw got him. So Costco 0 for 1. Repeat the scores. Atlanta 4, San Diego 2, Houston 4, Cincinnati 3, so the Reds have been eliminated. The Mets 1, Philadelphia 0, as Tom Seaver won his 25th. Here's the pitch to Costco. Fastball whacked to center. Mays has to come and get it, and he's right there to do it. Willie was shading Costco towards left center, and he had to go back to straight away. So 2 down, and here is Lefevre. It's raining in Montreal, with St. Louis leading 2-0 at the end of 7. Pittsburgh beat the Cubs 4-1. Oakland leading the Angels 1-0 at the end of 2. Minnesota, Seattle at night. Chicago beat Kansas City 6-1. Washington edged Cleveland 3-2. The Yankees beat Baltimore 1-0, and Detroit shaded Boston 2-1. Jim Lefevre at the plate, and McCormick's first one, the change over for a strike, 0-1. Dodgers 1, Giants 0, bottom of the 4th inning. McCormick comes back 0-1, and it's hit right back to Mike. He comes off the mound to pick it up, throws him out. So the screwball gets Lefevre. The Dodgers are gone in order in the 4th, and at the end of 4, Dodgers 1, Giants 0.
You know, I sit up here in the broadcasting booth game after game watching guys whistling and waving, trying to get the boogeyman who just never happens to be in their aisle when their beer runs out. And to keep thinking you guys at home definitely do have it better in some ways, all you have to do is call the boogeyman once, then walk to the refrigerator and get your own beer. It's the same light, comfortable tasting burgie we have here in the park. That is a comfortable thought. Being your very own boogeyman for a change, so he's always right there whenever you want him.
Before we take a look at the 5th inning, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
KTAR Phoenix. You can charge your purchases and take many months to pay at Modern Refrigeration, 3220 East Washington, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank Bank America card.
Claude Osteen getting ready to pitch to Hal Lanier, Mike McCormick, and Tito Fuentes. Lanier topped out in the 2nd inning. The Giants have had a couple of opportunities. In the first inning, Fuentes doubled. Hunt hit a line drive at Parker, and West threw to Wills in time to double up Fuentes, and then Mays followed with a single, but Mccovey struck out. In the second inning, the Giants had runners at first and third and one out, and Lanier popped up and McCormick popped up. Al Lanier, batting right-handed. Osteen starts him with a fastball low and away, ball one. The 1-0 pitch on the way is a big chopper, one-handed by Lefevre, and he sidearms to Parker. One away. The batter will be Mike McCormick. Mike popped up to Ted Sizemore. 0 for 1. On deck, Tito Fuentes. McCormick, left-hand batter. Osteen checks. The outfield about straight away on Mike. He's not a bad hitter. Osteen delivers. Fastball low. Ball 1-1-0. Osteen, a good hitter, got the Dodger run after he had singled to give him 24 hits. That's a lot of hits in a season for a pitcher. There's a bouncer over the mound to the left of Wills, but he's at it right at the bag and throws him out. So McCormick rounds to Wills. Tito Fuentes will be the batter. He doubled and grounded to short. Thought about 24 hits being a lot of hits for a pitcher. He just went back to the books to see the most hits. Drysdale one year had 39. It's a high for Osteen. Tito Fuentes, 1 for 2, batting right-handed. Osteen into the windup, fastball, a one-hopper. Wills plays it right at the left hip and throws him out. That was a tough chance. Fuentes ripped it, and Morey stayed with it to get it. The Giants are gone on ground balls, and at the end of 4 1/2, Dodgers 1, Giants 0. Well, say, you baseball fans with young children know how important it is for youngsters to eat a hearty breakfast. Farmer John would like to suggest his lean, luscious Farmer John sausage. Bottom of the 5th inning with the Dodgers leading the Giants 1-0. Anchors away in the background. Dodger Stadium welcome to Lieutenant J.G. Rich Burble of Lakewood, seeing his first ball game since his return from Vietnam. We're happy and honored to have him here. Ted Sizemore, Wes Parker, and Jeff Torborg will start things off against Mike McCormick. The Dodgers have not done very much. They have only 2 hits, but they're leading 1-0 because they put the hits back-to-back. A 2-out single by Claude Osteen and a long double by Maury Wills got the run over. Ted Sizemore popped up in the second inning.
Ted Sizemore, second base.
Sizemore 0 for 1. Mike McCormick into the windup, left-handed delivers. Keeps it away, ball 1, 1-0. Claude Osteen trying to win his 20th. The Dodgers somehow trying to hurt the Giants. And, of course, this one today and tomorrow, extremely important. Curve is lifted into shallow center. Hunt goes out calling as Mays jogs in back of him. Ron makes the catch. 1 away. That brings up Wes Parker. He grounded to third in the 3rd inning. Wes 0 for 1.
Wes Parker, first base.
McCormick checks with Jack Hyatt. Mike into the windup. The left-hander ready and delivers. Screwball over for a strike. 0-1. Same 2 clubs tomorrow with Bill Singer going after his 20th. against Juan Marichal. 1 o'clock game. Strike one pitch to West. Breaking ball, a broken bat, one hopper to Hal Lanier, and the shortstop throws him out. But boy, you talk about being jammed. That breaking ball busted in on Parker's fists, and his bat shattered as he grounded out 6-3. 2 out, and here is Jeff Tallboy. Ted Sizemore fouled out in the third inning. Jeff Tallboy fouled out. Sizemore popped up and Parker grounded out here in the 5th inning. 1-0 Dodgers. McCormick delivers, screwball. That's popped in the air back at second base into shallow center, and this time Mays comes in to handle it, and Willie does just that. So the Dodgers are gone. The last 7 in a row retired by McCormick, and at the end of 5, Dodgers 1, Giants nothing. Say, would you...
Christown TV in the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road, presents from Magnavox, a new color television set that will be as important to viewers as new supersonic airplanes are to air travelers. From Magnavox comes a revolutionary achievement, which solves the problem of annoying color variations in color TV. It's Total Automatic Color TV. Total Automatic Color from Magnavox makes tuning of color TV so simple, a child can tune it perfectly. Total Automatic Color from Magnavox eliminates annoying color variations and the need for bothersome picture adjustments or tuning. Magnavox now lets you select the flesh tone colors most pleasing to you and keeps them that way in every picture from every program on any channel or network. Just set it once and forget it. No variance of colors from program to commercial, from program to program, or from channel to channel. See the complete line of Magnavox Color TVs. Now with Total Automatic Color at Christown TV in the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road. Christown TV and Magnavox, a colorful combination.
Through 5 innings, the Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits and no errors. The Giants, no runs, 4 hits and no errors. In the 6th inning, the Giants will be sending up Hunt, Mays, and Mccovey. And there's not a Dodger on the field right now because in this particular day, the centennial celebrity is Don Drysdale. They mentioned earlier about it comes as quite a shock when you listen to Don talk about how grateful he was for all the years he was allowed to play and how he thanked all of his teammates. And then how everyone who went up and spoke about him talked about the tremendous thrills and the contributions he made down through the years. They start putting up his various accomplishments. They start off, he won 209 games for the Dodgers. But it comes as such a bitter reaction when you realize that here's a big guy, strong and healthy in the prime of life, and you're bidding goodbye to him in professional athletics, and he's 33 years old. Claude Osteen loosening up, and Mike McCormick back in the dugout now. So take a little bit of while before we get underway in the 6th inning. So when you say goodbye to a Drysdale at 33, you realize how extremely fortunate a Hoyt Wilhelm is to be still doing what he wants to do in a game that is so exacting as Major League Baseball, in a game where youth is such a precious commodity, that Wilhelm is still pitching, might very well wind up in the World Series for all we know, at the tender age of 46. How fortunate he has been. I don't know whether Don Drysdale is still in the ballpark or not. He and wife Ginger and daughter Kelly naturally were here for all of the pregame ceremonies. One of the many gifts that they receive, a beautiful puppy given to Kelly. And he's in Mr. O'Malley's box, and that's where they are now. And one last ovation as Don and Ginger and Kelly stand up in the crowd again. A round of applause. The Dodgers in the dugout. Don Sutton waving to Drysdale saying, "Come on down here." In fact, one of the shocks to everybody was the seeing of Drysdale and Koufax together in street clothing, realizing that both of them have called it a career at such young ages. Pitch to Ron Hunt outside, ball 1. When Sutton waved to Drysdale, "Come on down," Don instinctively grabbed his right shoulder. Sutton nodded and went back and sat down. 1-0, the count to Ron Hunt. Willie Mays to follow, and then Willie Mccovey. Osteen into the windup, and Claude's 1-0 pitch, missing outside and high, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Osteen into the windup. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Hit down the left field line, hooking foul and out of play. The Giants had a couple of doubles. They had 3 of them in the first 3 innings. 2 of them were inside third base. Lefevre had been giving the right-hand batters the line, but now that the Dodgers have a run, Lefevre wants to cut off the extra base hit, and he is right at the bag. 2-1, the count to Ron Hunt. Costco up a step or 2 in right field, and the fastball is low. 3-1 the count. Jeff Torborg in a crouch. Osteen reading his signs. Now the 3-1 pitch to Ron Hunt. Fly ball into left field. Mota going back on the ball, but he has a play all the way. Still on the grass and makes the catch. So Hunt a fly ball to left, 1 away, and here is Willie Mays. You can understand, I'm sure, how fortunate Mays must feel as he was still here. In fact, Willie really said it in the pregame ceremonies when he said, "I can't believe this day would ever come about," meaning that he would still be in uniform and Don Drysdale was retiring because Mays was 38 years old. Willie just hit home run number 600 against San Diego. Breaking ball down at his feet, ball 1-0. Mays was 38 on the 6th of May. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Willie. Osteen's breaking ball in the dirt, bouncing away, and the count 2-0. On deck, Willie Mccovey. One run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 4 hits for the Giants, and 3 of their 4 hits doubled. Mays has 1 of them. Yoto has a single, so he's 2 for 2. 2-0 pitch to Willie. High and away, ball 3. Back, Willie Mccovey. One run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 4 hits for the Giants, and 3 of their 4 hits doubled. Mays has 1 of them. He also has a single, so he's 2 for 2. 2-0 pitch to Willie. High and away, ball 3. Osteen into the windup, and the 3-0 pitch to Willie. He swung on a ground ball wide of third. Lefevre in front of Wills, but it's Wills who throws him out. So as Jimmy started to go after the ball, apparently Wills called him off it. And Morey got his man. 2 down, and here is Willie Mccovey. Willie Mccovey struck out and grounded out, 0 for 2. Mccovey waiting, 2 out, bases empty, 1-0 Dodgers. Osteen reading a label of handle with care and gets a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Mccovey has 44 home runs, 123 runs batted in. Osteen comes back to him on the hands with a fastball fouled outside of third. He really jammed him. He has gotten Willie on breaking balls down and away. In fact, he struck him out when Mccovey went chasing. So after seeing a fastball for a strike, Mccovey was guessing he's going to get that breaking ball, and he walked right into a fastball. 0-2. The Dodgers have a modified shift, but they've not committed themselves. Wills is still on his side of second base. strike 2 pitch on the way. There's the breaking ball down and away. 1-2. Lefevre is playing in the hole at short. There is really no one playing third base. The outfield is around to right, but in such a vast outfield, you can't overly commit, or you really give up some extra bases. Osteen's 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball got him swinging, and he got it inside. And Mccovey went after it and didn't get it and strikes out for the second time. And at the end of 5.5 innings, Dodgers 1, Giants nothing.
Hey, Dick Landy, who do you look up to when you're going for those low speed eliminator ETs?
I look up to the Christmas tree. When my timing is right off the line, I figure I'll get the drop on anybody in the other lane.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. On the message board, happy birthday number 73 to Mr. Leo Mullins here from Candlestick. Well, it's a great rivalry, the Giants and the Dodgers. They have been wearing each other out for years. And it is the rivalry alone and the intensity of the pennant race that has added so much to what would otherwise just be a couple of other games for the Dodgers. But this game today and this one tomorrow, they're games that the Dodgers want and want badly. Because to them, if nothing else, it would finish off the year if they can finish off the Giants. Here's Claude Osteen. McCormick delivers and the pitch over for a strike, 0-1. It's many years ago since Bill Terry, managing the Giants, uttered the famous remark to Roscoe McGowan of the New York Times. The strike 1 pitch outside, 1-1. When Bill, the quiet guy from Memphis, when asked about the Dodgers, said the Dodgers, are they still in the league? And the Dodgers eventually, hiding in the weeds, jumped all over the Giants that year. Breaking ball is swung on and missed, 1-2. And the Dodgers, by beating the Giants, knocked them out of a pennant. They are trying to do the same thing, although managers ever since, for either Giants or Dodgers, have carefully avoided any kind of sarcasm about the other club. Osteen fouls it away. They've got enough natural rivalry without waking each other up some more. So if you ask Walter Olson about the Giants, he'll say it's a fine ball club. If you ask Clyde King about the Dodgers, he'll say it's a fine ball club. And they'll try and wear each other out. 1-2 pitch to Osteen is pop foul. Back of the plate and out of play. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dodgers and Claude Osteen holding on to a slim 1-0 lead. Osteen trying to win his 20th. Trying to deal almost a mortal blow to the Giants. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Checked and it's foul-tipped and held by Hyatt. Osteen stopped his swing, but the ball hit the bat. George Foster, a young outfielder, goes trotting down to the bullpen. He went down there last night with 2 out in the 9th inning. But the Dodgers were unable to do anything, and he never got in the ball game. In this tough 1-0 game, Foster apparently will see some service for Jimmy Davenport. Here is Maury Will, breaking ball high, ball 1. Bonds, Davenport, and Hyatt are due up in the 7th, and then apparently after Jimmy has had his at-bat, Foster will take over in the outfield. Will pulls one way down the line, foul, deep in the lower deck. He was fouled by plenty. 1-1. Davenport, in making his debut in left field, has not really had a chance. There was one ball hit. He ran straight across toward left center, and the ball sailed over his head. Then he tried to turn quickly and go after it and fell down. 1-1 pitch, a curveball low. Maury faking a bunt, ball 2, 2-1. But for Jimmy Davenport, probably as tough a ballpark as there is in the National League to make your debut as an outfielder. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Will. Taken low, ball 3. 3-1. Dodger fans, and there are plenty of them, would like to see the Dodgers pick up a couple more. But McCormick, although he was giving up some sharp outs, has settled down considerably now. The 3-1 pitch is sliced foul off first, out of play. Dodgers hit some hard outs in the 3rd inning. With 2 out, Osteen singled and Wills doubled in the run. And Mota went out to Bobby Bonds. 3 hard outs, well, 2 of them in the 4th. Davis and Costco hit the ball hard to Mays, and that's been it. Will's waiting, and McCormick's 3-2 pitch. Low, Maury's aboard. So Maury Wills, trying to torment the Giants. Doubled in the only run of the game in the 3rd inning. Now he's aboard with 1 out and Mota coming up. And it seems as if we have gone full circle. It was Maury Wills who played such sensational ball in his rookie year in 1959 and wrecked the Giants at Candlestick and eventually helped the Dodgers win the playoffs and the pennant and the World Championship. Now Wills trying to lead a Dodger team to hurt the Giants in their quest for the pennant. A pitch out, and it just missed the outside corner. Hyatt had hopped way off the plate. McCormick didn't miss by much. 1 ball and no strikes to Manny Mota. Of course, whenever you have this combination, you think not so much of Wills stealing as you do a hit-and-run play. McCormick looks at Wills. He doesn't go, and they pitch out again. Ball 2. Well, you can do that. You can pitch out a couple of times when you have the control that Mike McCormick has. He walked Mota in the 1st inning, didn't walk another batter until Wills here in the 6th. 2-0 the count. Mike McCormick set at the belt, looks at Will, and decides he'll drive him back with a throw to Mccovey. Dodgers 1, Giants nothing, bottom of the 6th, 1 out. Mota around to bunt, but there's another throw. This one sending Wills back on his chest. McCormick left foot on the rubber, waiting for Hyatt. Now reads his sign. Wills a good lead, and he draws another throw and goes back standing up. So that's 3 times in a row McCormick has gone over to first base, trying to tie up Wills. Or he has stolen 40. He's been caught 17 times. He goes. The pitch is low. The throw is a good one. They get him. He didn't have any jump. So Wills was nailed on a perfect throw, and it was a very easy play. It wasn't close at all. Hyatt made a perfect throw. So Maury is caught for the 18th time this year as Lanier applied the tag. Now the bases are empty with 2 out. 3-0 pitch to Mota, a strike. 3-1. 3-1 to Manny Mota. McCormick out of a windup. And a bunt. Up along 3rd, foul. And the count 3-2. Dodgers 1, Giants nothing, bottom of the 6th. McCormick into the windup in the 3-2 pitch. On the hands, pulled wide to 3rd and into left field. A rolling attempt by Fuentes to come up with it. And he's going for 2, and he's out easily on a good throw from Davenport to Hunt. So the Dodgers gamble twice, and they run out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. And at the end of 6, Dodgers 1, Giants nothing.
Well, a pitcher relies on several kinds of pitches to do the job. Curve, slider, slip pitch, change of pace, knuckler, fastball, whatever. But regardless of what a pitcher throws, he'll always have a favorite one he'll keep coming back to when things get tight, just because it feels right. That's the way it is when you're thirsty, too. There might be a lot of different drinks that'll work, but you'll keep coming back to your favorite, just because it feels right. Schlitz malt liquor is one drink that feels right all over. It feels right for your thirst because it kills it. It feels right when you're hot because when you drink it cold, it cools you off. So far, that makes it like any other drink you might be partial to. But it feels right on your tongue when you drink it cold. And that's something most brews can't do. Schlitz malt liquor is brewed to be cold. The taste stays, doesn't get dull just because it's cold. You can even drink it over ice. And that's what makes Schlitz malt liquor different from any other brew you've tried. Any way you drink it, it feels right. Anyway. That's because nobody makes malt liquor like Schlitz. Nobody.
Through 6 innings, the Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. The Giants no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Atlanta beats San Diego. Houston beats Cincinnati. Cincinnati has been eliminated. The Giants trying to hang tough. Let's go to the 7th. And for more play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny. Bobby Bonds at bat, doubled and struck out. And Osteen now trying to turn him back in the final 3 innings. 1-0. The Dodgers lead. The run scored by Osteen on a double by Wills after Claude had singled with 2 out in the 3rd. Here's the pitch to Bobby Bonds. Curve strike. 0-1. Bonds 1 for 2, hitting .258, 31 home runs, and 86 runs batted in. Young man from Riverside has done a fine job for the Giants. Now the pitch away for a ball, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Osteen into the windup, and his pitch on the way just missed outside of the fastball. 2-1. Bonds at bat, Davenport on deck, and Hyatt to follow. 1-0 Dodgers lead. Osteen escaped a couple of tight spots in the early innings. Now working on Bonds here in the 7th. Wind up in the pitch. High fly ball to center field. Willie Davis moving in, shades his eyes. Willie waits, and he has it. 1 out as Bonds skies to center. And speaking of skies, it's a tough one. A bit of a hazy day, and bright blue straight up above. So the outfielders have to play it kind of cautiously. 1 out, and Davenport, the batter, has grounded out twice. Davenport, right-hand hitter, playing in left field today. First time he's ever played in the outfield. Now the pitch. Fastball, a strike. Fired in there by Osteen. Claude trying to get his 20th. 0-1 the count. Now again the windup and the pitch on the way. A swing and a miss at a good curve. Strike 2. 0-2 the count to Jimmy Davenport. Osteen now takes a little walk down behind the hill. Back to the top. Strike 2 count. 1 man out. Dodgers 1. And the Giants nothing. 7th inning. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Curve just inside. Ball 1, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Same clubs tomorrow. It'll be Marischal and Singer. Singer trying for his 20th tomorrow. A 1-2 count now. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Foul back. That went off Torborg's mask. Strike 2, ball 1 to Davenport. Jimmy batting .244 with 2 homers and 42 runs batted in. One and 2. Once again, Osteen checking signs. Into the windup and his pitch. Popped up on the right side. Sizemore going out into right field. Costco coming in. Sizemore calls, makes the catch. So Davenport pops up 2. Gone. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
KTAR Phoenix.
Taking care of your car is the prime concern of the trained technicians at Second Car Rental System of Phoenix, 3901 East Van Buren, where you can use your Arizona Bank of America card.
Here's Jack Hyatt at bat. He has walked and flied to left field. Osteen to the windup and the pitch on the way to Jack. A little high outside. He took a little off that time. Next pitch on the way. Outside again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Hyatt. 12 in a row now retired by Osteen since the double by Mays in the 3rd. Osteen checking his sign once more. Ready to pitch to Jack Hyatt. 2-0 on the way. Outside, ball 3, and it's 3-0 now to Hyatt. Hal Lanier on deck. We have action down in the bullpen for the Giants. If they get to McCormick's spot, they might hit for him. Frank Lindsay is down there warming up now. 3-0 the count to Hyatt. The pitch. He walked him. It was up high. That's the second walk given up. Osteen's second walk puts Hyatt on, and Lanier now is being called back. He was out in the on-deck circle, and Lanier will give way, and Jim Ray Hart will come on and hit for Lanier. The manager, Clyde King, will send up one of the long ball hitters, Jim Hart, here in the 7th inning, and Jim might stay in the game. We'll see. Osteen and Torborg having a little talk at the mound as Hart comes out of the on-deck circle now, walking toward home plate. Jim Ray has been a very big disappointment, but he's been injured most of the year. He's played in 92 games, 3 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Here's a runner at first base now for Hyatt. Don Mason will run for Hyatt at first. Mason might stay in the game, or Hart might stay in. We'll wait and see. So Hyatt is out for a runner here in the 7th inning, and Jim Ray Hart, who hurt his shoulder in spring training. He got a little better and then injured it again. The same since. So it's been a very much of an off year for Jim Ray Hart, who usually hits over 20 home runs a season, but this year he has hit just 3, so Hart now is at bat. 2 outs, and Osteen set to work with the runner Mason at first base. Right-hand hitter with power up there, and Osteen set delivers. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. That one got the outside part of the plate. On deck is McCormick with a windbreaker on, but if Hart gets on, they would probably hit for McCormick. Strike 1. Osteen checking. Dodgers lead 1-0. Breaking ball is a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mason at first base carries the tying run. Jim Ray Hart at bat for San Francisco. 7th inning. 1-1 count. Osteen turns, looks toward the outfield, rubs up the ball. Hart waiting, number 16. Mason short lead at first base. Here's the pitch on the way. Fly ball to center field. Willie Davis coming up fast, and stopped it. Here's Mason at third. Headed in and stopped at third base. Willie had it, felt high, and couldn't hold it. It'll be an error on Willie Davis. And now we'll have a runner for Hart. George Foster will run at first base. So Hart lifted a fly ball to shallow center field. Willie raced in and had it hit him apparently on the wrist as he tried to catch it. About felt high. It will be an error on Willie Davis in center. And now we'll see about a hitter for McCormick as Foster goes in to run at first base and Mason around to third base on the play. When Willie dropped the ball, he kicked it and it was near his feet so he could pick it up and bring it back in the hurry and held Mason at third base. So walk and an error, and now we'll have a hitter. Bob Etheridge will bat for McCormick. So Etheridge now is the pinch hitter as the Giants try to cash in the break now in the 7th inning. A walk and a fly ball dropped in center field. And Etheridge will be the hitter. So Osteen, after 12 in a row retired, gives up a walk and then a looping fly ball to shallow center. An error on the play. Willie Davis came racing in and had the ball apparently in his glove, and then it might have popped out and he couldn't hold it. Now Austin going to the mound to talk to Osteen. Brewers in the bullpen. Runners on at first and third in the seventh inning. And Alston now having a little meeting with Lefevre, Torborg, and Osteen. Davis, after the long run, appeared to have it. And for some unaccountable reason, just squirted out of the glove. Might hit him on the wrist. Of course, as we said, it's a tough sky and hard to follow the flight of the ball. And Willie, even on the dead run, might have had trouble seeing the ball all the way. So the Giants get a big break here in the seventh inning after Hart apparently had flied out. He is safe, and we have a runner at first base for him and a runner at third base, Mason, running for Hyatt, who walked. Bobby Etheridge will be the hitter. McCormick is gone. Out for a hitter now here in the seventh inning. And Osteen trying to retire the pinch batter, Etheridge. Was hitting .270 with 1 homer and 10 runs batted in the pitch. High and away, ball 1, fastball outside. McCormick worked 6 innings, allowed 1 run and 3 hits, struck out 1 and walked 2, and leaves for a hitter. So the Giants trying to come alive here in the seventh inning with 2 outs. Osteen working, 1 ball, no strikes. Tito Fuentes on deck. Here's the look and here's the pitch. Sailed high, ball 2, and it's 2-0 now to Etheridge. Osteen was sailing along in good style until he walked Hyatt. And then the error. Two balls, no strikes. Etheridge, a right-hand hitter. Now the stretch again and the look at first and the pitch on the way. Foul off to the right on the ground. 2-1 to Bobby Etheridge, a half swing that time. Mason running at third and Foster running at first base for San Francisco. Osteen working here in the seventh. 1-0. Dodgers lead and the Giants threaten now here with 2 out and 2 on. 2-1 count. Here's the look and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball and it's a 2-2 count. Osteen blew that one by him. 2-2 the reading. Seventh inning. Etheridge backs out for a moment, now ready again. Osteen getting a sign from Torborg. Big pitch coming up, 2-2. 2-1. Osteen trying to get out of another tight spot. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3. So he missed with it on the 2-2 pitch, and that'll send the runner going at first base. A 3-2 count. As Osteen missed on the big one. And now he'll have to come down with it. Etheridge waiting, Mason at third, Foster at first base. A walk and an error by Willie Davis in center. 3-2. Etheridge waiting, 20's on deck. Here's the stretch now by Osteen, the look, and here's the pitch on the way. Bounce towards short, wheels up with it. He'll go to first base, and it is in time. Ball to short, and Etheridge is out at first base to retire the side. No runs, no hits. 1 error, 2 left on, and the score at the end of 6 1/2 innings. The Dodgers won and the Giants nothing.
You know, more and more companies today play a lot of different positions in the business world. They're in this and that and about everything. Well, our friend Farmer John continues to stick to the one business he knows best, and that business is pork. To ask the butcher for Farmer John Pork, gold medal winner at the California State Fair. Don't forget it, Farmer John.
Well, we'll have some changes for the Dodgers. We know that Lindsay will be the pitcher. Foster, who ran for Lanier, will play in left field. Davenport has moved out of left field to third base. Tito Fuentes is at shortstop, and we're waiting now on the catcher, probably Bob Barton. We'll wait and see. Here's Danny Goodman's end of the season bargain special and souvenir. Send $1, your name and address, and get 6 8x10 color photos of Dodger players, a Dodger rabbit's foot and bat keychain, and the Dodgers 1969 yearbook. Send your request to Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, 90012. Barton will be the catcher. Lindsay will be the pitcher, and we'll just have to spot them into the batting order. I would imagine that Lindsay will bat in the 9th spot, and Barton will bat in the catcher spot. That's what it'll be. So Barton is the catcher. The left fielder Foster will be playing in left-hand batting in the 8th spot, and Lindsay bats in the 9th spot. So if you're scoring, put Barton in the Hyatt spot. Foster was in for Hart, who was in for Lanier, and Lindsay is in the 9th spot doing the pitching. So the right-hander, Frank Lindsay, coming out of the bullpen now. His record is 14-9, and he will pitch first to Willie Davis. Davis will see about Costco and then Lefevre. Last is the 7th inning. Davis has flied out twice to center. Willie batting .311. 11 home runs and 59 runs batted in. Tomorrow, the finale. Marichal and Singer, don't forget, 1 o'clock game time here tomorrow. The last day game of the year. The Dodgers have night games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with Houston. Here's Willie Davis at bat now as Lindsay goes to the windup and his pitch on the way. Grounded foul to the Dodger dugout and hits the railing and bounces back to Danny Ozark in the coaching box. The Giants have left 6 men on. The Dodgers have left 1 man on, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. 20's opened the game with a double, was doubled off first base just before Mays walloped a single to left field. Bonds opened the second with a double, was left stranded. Mays' double was 2 out in the third, was left stranded. The fly ball to the center field. Mays coming up, and he has it. So for the 3rd straight time, Willie Davis flies to Mays. 1 away, and the batter now will be Costco. With Lefevre on deck. Andy has grounded out and flied out. The Giants did not have another threat after the double by Mays in the 3rd until the 7th inning. The walk to Hyatt and the error by Willie Davis to put runners at 1st and 3rd before Osteen got pinch hitter Petrie. Osteen will have to go through Mays and Mccovey once more, either in the 8th or the 9th. You'll get Mays in the 8th, and if he gets the side out on order, then he gets Mccovey in the 9th. Otherwise, you get them both in the 8th. Fastball is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Tomorrow's game ought to be a dandy. Bill Singer, 19 wins, 11 losses against Juan Marichal, 20 wins, 11 losses. The Giants battling to stay alive. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball low, ball 2, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 count as Costco waits at the plate. Lindsay's delivery. Swung on him. That's a good sinker. 2-1. And he had a rip. Costco batting .249, 18 home runs, 72 runs batted in. 2-1 the count. Davenport is at 3rd. 20's at short. Hunt at 2nd. Mccovey at 1st. Foster, Mays, and Bonds in the outfield. Now it's 2-1 as Lindsay winds, pitches to Costco. Low, ball 3. 3-1. 3-1 count. Lefevre, due next, then Sizemore, and then Parker. 7th inning. A 1-0 Dodger lead in the game. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Costco swings and misses, strike 2. 3-2 to Costco. The Dodger run came in the 3rd, a single by Osteen with 2 out and a double by Wills to left field. 3-2 now to Costco. Lindsay ready, delivers. He struck him out. A swing and a miss, and Costco down on strikes. The batter will be Jimmy Lefevre. Bounced out to the pitcher. Slide to right. The Dodgers have only 3 hits. A double by Wills, a single by Mota, and a single by Osteen. They put 2 of the hits together for that run in the 3rd. The Giants have 4 hits, 3 doubles. And they've left 6 men on. 2 outs. Lefevre waiting as Lindsay turns around and checks the outfield behind him. Bonds in right, Mays in center, Foster in left. Now the pitch. A swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Strike 1. Count. Lefevre waiting as Lindsay winds, delivers. Low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Atlanta won. The Reds lost. The Reds have been eliminated, and Atlanta continues to apply the pressure. Here's the pitch now. Bounced over the mound behind second. On through to center field. So Lefevre bounces one back to the middle, a base hit. That'll bring up Sizemore, who has popped up twice. The Atlanta victory was their 8th straight. They have not lost since they left Dodger Stadium. And they have 3 to play. 1 at home against the Padres tomorrow, and 2 at home against Cincinnati on Tuesday and Thursday. All right, on at first base, Lefevre. Sizemore waiting at the plate. Here's the pitch to him, low for a ball. One ball and no strikes to Sizemore. Lefevre short lead, the pitch. Taken outside ball to the total crowd today is 36,170. We'll have the attendance figures later. 36,170 the total in the house. We have a Ladies' Day crowd, and we'll have the paid attendance later. But a nice turnout to see the Dodgers and the Giants and honor Don Drysdale. It's a bouncer back to Lindsay on a half swing. Throw to first in time, and the inning is over. Dodgers down in the 7th. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Score through 7. The Dodgers won and the Giants nothing.
Camper headquarters in the Valley is Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, just north of Thomas Road. Camp West, featuring 2 outstanding lines of quality campers. Trails to choose from. They've got a camper to suit your needs, your budget, with prices starting as low as $189. Both Tramper Camper and Trevette feature a lifetime warranty for as long as you own the camper. See Tramper Camper with all the luxury of more expensive campers. And Trevette, the Cadillac of campers. And you do-it-yourselfers, you'll find everything you need to build your camper at Camp West. Aluminum skins and windows, ice boxes, stoves, water pumps, water pressure systems. You name it, if they don't have it, they'll get it for you. And remember, for quality, price, and service, see Camp West Industries. Easy to get to from anywhere in the Valley. They're at 2802 Grand Avenue, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. Remember, before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer.
Well, we go along into the 8th inning, and Claude Osteen trying to make it stand up. He leads 1-0, each side with 4 hits. Osteen warming up now. The Dodgers send Bill Russell into right field in place of Andy Costco, and the Giants start with the top of the order. So let's go back to play. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. Tito Fuentes, who started the ballgame at third base and is finishing up at shortstop, will begin matters, followed by Ron Hunt and Willie Mays. Fuentes doubled inside third, and the last 2 times up, he grounded to short. Bill Russell in right field for Andy Costco, and Claude Osteen walking around on the grass behind the mound. Osteen wants his 20th just as badly as the Giants want to win and stay in the race. So he's taking plenty of time before he's ready to pitch to Fuentes. Tito will start it off. Fuentes 1 for 3. Hunt on deck is 0 for 3, but one of those 0-fers was a line drive turned into a double play. And then Mays is 2 for 3. All right, Osteen ready. Fuentes waiting, and Claude's first pitch. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Talking about wanting 20, well, that's the story for Bill Singer. He's 19-11. Marichal is 20-11, and they'll meet tomorrow. Slow curve, a beauty, strike 2, and Fuentes, hands on his hips, backs out. He's not quite sure what that was. 0-2. Tito picks up a handful of dirt. Now Puentes back up to the plate. Osteen reading Torborg into the windup, and the strike 2 pitch away. Fastball just to showcase it. 1-2. Jack Jenkins, right-hander, throwing in the Dodger bullpen. 1-2 the count of Tito Puentes. Osteen delivers, breaking ball, got him swinging, and Tito grabs his head with his right hand as if to say, oh, how could I have swung at that? But the bottom dropped out of it, and down he goes. So 1 away, and Ron Hunt, the batter. Osteen is not overpowering the batters. He is finessing them up to here. He struck out only 4. Hunt lined into the double play, grounded to third, and flied to left. So the right-hand hitting second baseman is 0 for 3. On deck, Willie Mays. Osteen checking with Torborg. Hunt choking up on the bat. And the first pitch to Ron, fouled away into Torborg's mask and off to the right, 0-1. The paid attendance today, 32,997 paid, with a total of over 36,170 in the park. And the Dodgers and Giants thank the good folks for attending. The Dodgers, of course, a great deal of thanks to all their fans for tremendous support all year. Pitch to Ron Hunt outside, 1-1. One ball, one strike to Ron Hunt. Willie Mays on deck. 1 out in the 8th, 1-0 Dodgers. Osteen's fastball tails away. Ball 2, 2-1. Pitch on the way. Outside. Ball 3. Osteen doesn't want to face Mays with somebody on base, but he's getting closer to that situation right now. Ron Hunt, tough hitter, hitting .259, 2 home runs, 40 RBIs. 3-1 pitch to Ron. Lifted to left field and deep. Back goes Mota, way back to the railing. This ball is down the line and gone. A home run for Ron Hunt. Choking up on the bat. Hit a high fly ball right down the left field line. And the more that Mota ran to his right, the quicker he was running out of room, and the ball was back in the lower deck. To tie it up, Mays fouls a curve off, and the count 0-1. Now that the run is over, Jim Brewer is up in the Dodger bullpen. But Claude Osteen, who had pitched a magnificent 1-0 game through 7, has been caught here in the 8th. On, of all people, a home run by Ron Hunt. His 3rd home run of the year. So little Muggsy comes back to torment his ex-teammates. Now Mays up there with Mccovey to follow. The screwball is swung on and missed, and Mays barked after swinging at that when you could see his head move back and forth. 0-2. So he went 3-1 to Ron Hunt, then had to challenge him. And this time, Hunt was equal to it. A 1-1 tie in the 8th. Osteen into the windup, and the strike 2 pitch, breaking ball outside, ball 1. 1 run, 5 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for the Dodgers. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, they have Parker, Torborg, and Osteen. However, that can change considerably with right-hander Frank Lindsay on the mound. So it means that Mike McCormick has nothing to do with the ballgame now. 1-2 to Willie Mays. Osteen to the windup, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball low, ball 2. Osteen has walked 2, struck out 4. Allowed 5 hits and 1 run. Ron Hunt's 3rd home run of the year. Claude slips the glove, rubbing up the ball. Now Osteen, both feet on the rubber. May is waiting. 2-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball wide to third. One-handed by Lefevre, who throws him out. Two out in the 8th inning, and here is Willie Mccovey, a 1-1 tie. Mccovey struck out twice and grounded out. In the 1st inning, he struck out on a 3-2 curveball that was in the right-hand hitter's box. In the 6th inning, he struck out on a curveball that was in on the hands when I think he was guessing it would be away. Willie is 0 for 3. The Dodgers have that modified shift on, but they still have 2 men on the left side of second base. Sizemore on the rim. Osteen ready, and the pitch. Fastball down the pipe. Strike 1. The only way Mccovey takes a pitch like that, he had to be looking for something else. 0-1. Osteen comes back 0-1. Curve in the dirt. Short hop by Jeff Torborg. 1 ball, 1 strike. The outfield deep to right. 1 run, 5 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 4 hits, and an error for the Dodgers. Dodger run came in the 3rd. Osteen single, Wills doubled him home. And the Giant run here in the 8th on the home run by Ron Hunt. 1-1, breaking ball is low. Mccovey started that swing but held up. 2-1. Bobby Bonds in the on-deck circle. Osteen straddling the rubber, thinking over his pitches. Now Claude ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Willie Mccovey. Low and away. Ball 3. Well, he was 3-1 on Ron Hunt when Hunt hit the home run. And he comes right back now 3-1 on Mccovey. Bobby Bonds to follow. Now on a 3-1 pitch where he has to throw a strike, they figure Mccovey will be swinging and he'll be pulling, so they load up the right side. So Will, Sizemore, and Parker forming a picket fence between 1st and 2nd, and they're all deep. 3-1 pitch. Curve is low. Ball 4. So Mccovey trots to 1st, and here comes Bobby Bonds. That's the 3rd pass issued by Osteen, and Torborg goes out to the mound to talk to Claude. You always talk about a contender versus a non-contender and how loose and relaxed the non-contender is, although it certainly wouldn't hold up in this present Giant-Dodger series. Even though the Dodgers are not in contention anymore, they are battling as if they are. And, of course, Osteen trying to win his 20th. So every pitch is a big one to him. And his teammates know how important it is, so they're bearing down something extra. Bobby Bonds doubled, struck out, and flied to center. He's 1 for 3. Lefevre deep and guarding the line. Parker holding the bag on Mccovey. Osteen to the plate, and the breaking ball is swung on and missed. Torborg wigwagging signs out. Osteen ready. And the strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball low. 1-1. On deck, the left fielder and now 3rd baseman, Jimmy Davenport. One in the 8th. Osteen is 1 for 3. Lefevre deep and guarding the line. Parker holding the bag on Mccovey. Osteen to the plate, and the breaking ball is swung on and missed. Torborg wigwagging signs out. Osteen ready. And the strike one pitch on the way. Fastball low. 1-1. On deck, the left fielder and now third baseman, Jimmy Davenport. One in the eighth. Osteen ready. The pitch to Bonds is a half swing, and it hits the plate, does the ball, and gets away. And so Mccovey moves to second base and holds there. Torborg bluffing. It's a wild pitch charged to Osteen. Bonds started his swing and checked, and the breaking ball hit the plate and bounced way off over Torborg's right shoulder. So on the wild pitch, a potential tie-breaking run is now at second base. Wills and Torborg have a brief meeting, then Morey goes back to his position, and Jeff continues out to talk to Osteen. Jimmy Davenport on deck has grounded out twice and flied to right. Mccovey is short lead at second base, but he'll try to increase it. The only man to bother him at all would be Sizemore with Bonds up there. Ted can't really leave his position to do much bird dogging, so Mccovey increases a little more. Osteen looks at him. Sizemore to the bag, handles the throw, but too late with a quick tag. Mccovey back in there easily. Two and one. The count to Bobby Bonds. Osteen again, left foot on the rubber. Torborg setting a target. Flawed to a stretch. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Strike two. It was such an off-speed pitch that Bonds kind of moved up in the box, wound up on the pitch, decided to let it go, and then it just moved in and got the outside corner. 2-2. Clyde King on the steps, hollering encouragement to Bonds. Hollering some more, and of course, no doubt reminding Bobby to get a strike. Mccovey at second with 2 out. Osteen up on top and at the belt, and the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball low at his feet. Ball 3. Osteen was in trouble in the first 2 innings. Then moved along pretty well until the 7th, when a drop fly ball put him in a jam. And now here in the 8th, a 1-out home run by Hunt got the Giants even, a walk and a wild pitch. There's Mccovey at second base with 2 out. 3-2 to Bobby Bonds, and Jimmy Davenport waiting his turn on deck. Osteen goes to his stretch, looks at Mccovey, and the 3-2 pitch, curveball, hit foul right into the Dodger dugout, and Willie Crawford had to run for his life. Crawford got off the bench and went down the runway. Sudeikis followed him, and Grabarkowitz off the bench to see where Willie went. That thing looked like it was following Crawford right back to the dressing room. 3-2. Torborg. Bobby Bonds waiting. Outfield deep to left. Osteen to his stretch. 3-2 pitch to Bonds. Strike 3 called. A fastball, and he was caught guessing. Bobby Bonds frozen at the plate. Wouldn't believe he'd get a fastball down the middle, and down he goes. So the Giants settle for 1 run on 1 hit. 1 man left, and at the end of 7 1/2, a 1-1 tie. Friends, if a baseball team could put together a winning streak like Union 76 Racing Gasoline, boy, it could clinch the pennant by, well, Memorial Day. The latest 76-powered win was at Sears Point in San Francisco at the Continental 49er for Formula A racing cars. But you don't have to be a racing driver to ride with a winner. Why, be sure to ask any one of over 1 million drivers who use Royal 76 Premium gasoline. They know that the perfectly balanced blend of the 8 fuels that go into Royal 76 Premium are there for one reason. They're there to assure their cars of the best performance possible for today's kind of driving. Royal 76 Premium, from the same winning team that makes 76 racing gasoline. So get a tank full at your Union 76 dealer, where you find the things your car thrives on. And remember, when you're looking for someone to look after you, look out to 76. Bottom of the 8th inning, a 1-1 tie. It'll be Wes Parker, maybe Jeff Torborg, and Willie Crawford has come to the near corner of the dugout where the bat rack is, so we'll wait and see what develops. Frank Lindsay is ready to work the 8th, a 1-1 tie. So McCormick, who went 6 innings, has nothing to do with it. Frank works the 7th, and Parker fouls the first one away, 0-1. The Giants defensively with Lindsay and Barton. The infield, Mccovey and Hunt, Fuentes and Davenport. The outfield, Foster, Mays, and Bonds. Crawford has a helmet on his head and 2 bats in his hand. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Parker. Fouled away off to the left out of play in the count 0-2. Wes is 0 for 2 today. Parker's average at 278 at the start of the day. So after a great year, the last 2 weeks or so, Parker has apparently started to run out of gas, and his average is dipping. But he's had a fine season. 13 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Sinker away, ball 1, 1-2. Dodgers scored in the 3rd and led 1-0 until Hunt's home run in the 8th. Now we're in the bottom of the 8th. Lindsay to the windup, and the 1-2 pitch to Parker is a slow ground ball into the hole. Fuentes up with it, off balance, throw is high, and Mccovey's off the bag. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The good son. KTAR Phoenix.
Now, with a runner at first, Tommy Haller is coming out for Jeff Torborg. And Willie Crawford remains in the near corner of the dugout.
One with Dodger. Ready. One forward. Number 50. Howard.
You might be interested about one stat for Tom Haller. He has sacrificed, bunted, 7 times this year. So we'll see if they ask him to bunt now. With Parker at first and nobody out in the 8th inning, a 1-1 tie. Davenport on the edge of the grass, Lindsay ready, Tommy to bunt, and takes outside, ball 1. He was around to put it down. Walter Olson, hands behind his hips, pacing up and down in the dugout. Claude Osteen is on deck, wondering about his future. Willie Crawford wearing the helmet in the dugout. The pitch outside, ball 2. Well, Howard checks to see if they still want him to get the bunt down now that he's ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. A 1-1 tie, bottom of the 8th. Lindsay to his stretch, the 2-0 pitch, there's the bunt. Down to get it, Mccovey. He has to throw back to Hunt, and the sacrifice works. So for the 8th time this year, Tommy Haller gets his bunt down. And now here comes Claude Osteen. Claude Osteen has 1 hit. That was in the 3rd inning, and Wills doubled him home. Osteen with to batter with Parker at second. One out in the eighth inning, a 1-1 tie, and Maury Wills on deck. Osteen, who scored the only Dodger run, now trying to help himself and get one home. He's driven in 12 this year. Lindsay goes to his stretch. Fuentes trying to bird dog Parker, and Osteen takes low, ball one. So they had Haller bunting 2-0, and Lindsay is now behind Osteen. 1-0 the count. Bob Barton in a crouch behind the plate. Lindsay ready, the pitch to Osteen, low and outside, ball two. Clyde King with his hands on his hips, pacing in the Dodger dugout. In the Giant dugout. I was thinking of Clyde pacing in a Dodger dugout in the Polo Grounds in New York. Now wearing a Giant uniform, he's going through the same problems. Osteen waiting. The 2-0 pitch to Flora, the sinker fouled off, and the count 2-1. Wes Parker opened the inning with an infield single. He hit it to the hole at short. Fuentes made a good play. Lanier might have made the play. He might have made a more accurate throw. Mccovey had to go up in the air to handle the throw, and Parker was safe. Osteen waiting. 2-1 pitch is a ground ball down to second baseman Hunt. He flips to Mccovey for the second out. All right, Wes Parker is at third with 2 out, and the batter, Maury Wills. And here comes Clyde King. Don McMahon, veteran right-hander, is down in the bullpen. And there's somebody else down there with him. Don Bryant is with McMahon. So 2 Dons, McMahon and Bryant in the pen. Wills the batter, and it looks like King has just gone out there to talk to Lindsay. The one thing, of course, Frank Lindsay is a sinker ball pitcher. So there is some pressure on young Bob Barton, and Clyde King is talking to him right now. King, of course, no doubt saying, whatever you do, don't let a sinker get by you. As if the catcher had to be told. So Wills the batter with 2 out, Parker at third. The Giants are wondering if Morley would not try to bunt. So they have Davenport at third, and Mccovey is up a step near first. Lindsay ready, and the pitch to Wills. The ground ball wide at third, grabbed by Davenport, who throws him out. So the Dodgers, who have just stopped scoring. In fact, the last time the Dodgers did any scoring was when they got 4 runs against Marischal and still lost. Have still gotten hung on 1. And the score at the end of 8, Giants 1, Dodgers 1.
Sometime today in some comfortable place,
Maybe in Carmel or San Diego or Tucson or Tahoe.
a few more people have finally tasted beer the way it ought to be. Comfortable.
Comfortable, that's Bergie. Bergie is comfortable beer for a number of reasons. Basically because it's brewed with soft water.
But that's only the beginning. The important thing is what it does. Makes Bergie's good tasting and easy to drink all the time.
And every time you taste Bergie, you get the same great taste and a comfortable quality that you'll really enjoy. Every wet, refreshing, ice-cold glass.
There you have the main reason why Bergie is the comfortable beer. You can enjoy that light and mellow taste for as long as you like.
Yes, sir. If there ever was one word that really says it all about the kind of beer Bergie is, that word is comfortable. And I hope that sometime today, in some comfortable place, you'll have a bottle or 2 of Bergie. Find out firsthand.
And the fact is that any place is a comfortable place with Bergie, the comfortable beer.
To the 9th inning, a 1-1 tie. The Giants 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. And it'll be Jim Davenport to start it off. He'll be followed by Bob Barton, and he fouls the first one away. Davenport, Barton, and Foster. George Foster, a young outfielder. Davenport grounded out twice and flied to right. Jimmy, an experienced third baseman, and he made a good play to get Wills. because he was playing up for a bunt and had his spear ball hit to his left. After a slow curve and fouled it, 0-2, Tommy Haller behind the plate, out to get it. So Haller batted for Torborg and then stays in the game behind the plate. Claude Osteen, trying to win his 20th, trying to upset the Giant apple cart, and the Giants trying to stay tough and hang right behind the Braves, who won, beating San Diego 4-2. Strike 2 pitch to Davenport. Breaking ball is low, ball 1. A 3-1 pitch to Ron Hunt. And the second baseman hit it into the lower deck in left field. That has kept the Giants even. Now the 1-2 pitch to Jimmy Davenport. Hit up along third base. Lefevre in front of Wills this time. Throws him out. Nice play. So Jimmy and Wills crisscrossing on a slow ground ball, and Lefevre makes the play, and that'll bring up Bob Barton. Bob Barton, the catcher, has been in only 48 games, hitting .173. Right-hand batter. If you're wondering about Dick Dietz, Dietz has a bad left leg. The pitch low, ball 1. Dietz has been knocked out of commission. He was in a collision at home plate with catcher Johnny Bench, and Bench of Cincinnati was wearing the equipment, so it was Dietz that was chewed up. Barton takes high, ball 2, 2-0. George Foster, who has been in 7 games and has had 1 at-bat, he's 0 for 1, comes out on deck. 2-0 the count to Bob Barton. Now Osteen delivers, and it's fouled away down the right field line, out of play. To Bob Barton. Osteen ready, delivers, gets the outside corner. Strike 2. One out in the 9th, a 1-1 tie. Giants and Dodgers. Osteen into the windup, and the pitch to Bob Barton. Outside, ball 3. So suddenly, a lot of 3-ball counts has blossomed up. He went 3-1 on Hunt, and he hit a home run. He pitched very carefully to Mays, went 3-2 to Mccovey and walked him, went 3-2 to Bonds, and got Bobby Guessing to look at a fastball for a strike 3. Now he's gone 3-2 on Barton, so Osteen making a lot of pitches here at the end of the game. The full count pitch. A banger up the middle. A smothering stop by Wills. He gets up it, throws him out. Well, if you had any idea about whether the Dodgers were bearing down against their old foes, the Giants, when the Dodgers were no longer involved in the pennant race, that would show it. That was a desperation 9th inning in the World Series play by Maury Wills as he dived at the ball head first to smother it, and then he had time to scramble to his feet and throw out catcher Barton. And here is George Foster. George Foster, a youthful outfielder, just brought up from Fresno. He's had 1 at-bat in the big leagues, 0 for 1. Sizemore and Haller meet with Osteen. Foster, right-hand batter, finishing up the game in left field. He went in to run for Jim Hart after Hart had batted for Lanier back in the 7th. Osteen ready and the pitch. Ground ball. Back at third. It's off Lefever's glove. Wills over to pick it up in foul ground, and it's a hot shot, and Foster holding at first base. Lefever went behind the bag, but couldn't stay with it. It'll go as a base hit. Too hot to handle. Frank Lindsay coming up. Had Lefever not been able to get his glove on the ball, that would have been an extra base hit. Foster has good running speed. So as he singles sharply over the bag at third. So that turns out to be a big play. That play by Wills, followed by a single by Foster. And here is Lindsay with 2 out. Swings at a breaking ball and doesn't get it. Lindsay has 8 hits, 1 RBI. Lifts a curveball in the air back at third base, and Wills inside the line, now crosses the line and makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 8.5 innings, a 1-1 tie. As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, a 1-1 tie. The crowd reacting to the message board. They put a message up. If you would like an extra cheer for Wills, go ahead. It was that kind of a play. Okay, bottom of the 9th. A 1-1 tie. And here's Manny Mota. Mota has walked, wide to right, single to left. He's 1 for 2. Lindsay kicks and delivers a strike. That's the first time he started a hitter with a strike. He's been pitching behind to the batters since he's been in there. 0-1 to Mota. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball low. 1-1. Frank Lindsay. 14 victories, 9 defeats. Picked up in the 8th inning in the 7th inning after Mike McCormick went 6 and allowed just 1 run. A pitch to Mota. Low, ball 2. 2-1 to Manny. Mota 1 for 2. Willie Davis on deck. Now the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Hart over, up with it, throws him out, 1 away. The Dodgers lost 2-1 last night. They lost 2-1 in Don Sutton's game to Jim Maloney. In the Giants series at Candlestick, the scores were 4-3, 5-4, and 5-1. So the Dodgers unable to do any scoring at all, and consequently, they've lost 8 in a row and 6 straight to the Giants. Here's Willie Davis. Lindsay delivers, and it's fouled away. Willie has kept the other Willie, Mays, in center field busy. He's hit 3 balls to Mays. One out in the 9th inning, a 1-1 tie. Davenport on the grass inside the line at third. Mccovey almost on the line at first. The pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 32,997 paid with over 36,170 in the park. They've seen a great game as the Dodgers try to torment the Giants, and the Giants try to stay close to the Braves. The 1-1 pitch to Davis. High off the mid of Bob Barton. One of the few times you'll see Lindsay make a pitch above the belt. 2-1. Davis, hitting .311 going in, is 0 for 3. A 2-1 pitch on the way. Sprayed foul or third upstairs. Second deck, and the count 2-2. Lindsay, head down, now decides to lift his cap a moment, thinking over his pitches. Now looks to Barton. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Davis. Is a big chopper to Ron Hunt. He has it, flips across, so the Dodgers starting to beat the ball on the ground again like they did with Gaylord Perry last night. 2 out in the 9th inning. Bill Russell coming up in a 1-1 tie. If the Dodgers go into extra innings, their record is certainly very much against them. They've only won 3 and lost 10 in extra innings. The Giants are 9 and 10 in extra innings. So Bill Russell at the plate. Bill hitting .227, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Right-hand batter. Lindsay kicks and delivers and gets a strike. Russell took over for Costco after Andy struck out against Lindsay in the 7th inning. So Russell now has a chance to swing the bat with Jimmy Lefebvre on deck. Dodgers had a golden opportunity in the 8th inning when their leadoff man Parker singled, but they couldn't get him around. Little number back to Lindsay. He has it, goes to first, and whether they like it or not, the Giants and the Dodgers are going into overtime. The Dodgers are out on ground balls, and at the end of 9, the Giants won, the Dodgers won. Through 9 innings, a 1-1 tie. Claude Osteen will not answer the bell for round 10. In fact, in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Dodgers had the go-ahead run at second base with 1 out, and Walter Alston, no doubt, hoping that Osteen could stay in and win his 20th, let Claude bat, and he grounded out. He then pitched the 9th inning, gave up 1 hit, and that's as far as he could go. And Willie Crawford, who was very close to coming into the game as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, now gets into the game the back door. So he will bat in the number 9 spot, and the pitcher, Brewer, will go into the man spot who made the last out, namely Bill Russell. So Brewer will hit in the number 4 spot, then Crawford is number 9. 1-1 through 9. If you have not been with us today, the scores: Atlanta beat San Diego 4-2. Houston beat Cincinnati 4-3, so the Reds have been eliminated. The Mets shut out the Phillies 1-0. The Cardinals beat Montreal 2-1. Pittsburgh over Chicago 4-1. Chicago 6, Kansas City 1. Washington over Cleveland 3-2. New York over Baltimore 1-0. Detroit over Boston 2-1. Minnesota, Seattle tonight. And it is 6-0. Oakland leading the Angels at the end of 7.5. Let's go to the 10th. The 1-1 tie, and for more play, here's Jerry.
All right, Billy. Jim Brewer ready to pitch now to Tito Fuentes as Claude Osteen goes out, and Gomer gave it a big try here today. All even at 1-1 through 9 innings, and he goes out, and he's still hung up on 19. Pitch to Fuentes. Fastball comes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Brewer is 6-6 on the year, and of course Jim has been ailing the last half of the year. He had to go out for a while to put his back in traction. Now he has Fuentes, Hunt, and Mays here in the 10th inning. No score since the 8th inning when the Giants had a home run by Ron Hunt to tie it up. There's a high fly ball to center field. Willie Davis drifting back a few steps, under it now, waiting, and makes the catch. Tito Fuentes flies out, and here's Ron Hunt with the home run right down the line in the 8th inning, and it tied up the game. So Hunt, with his 3rd home run of the year, keeps the Giants alive, and he comes up with 1 out in the 10th inning. Willie Mays on deck, and Willie Mccovey to follow. A great game here today. As Vinny pointed out, the Dodgers have stopped hitting, and during the last week, that has really cost them. They've lost 4 games by 1 run in the last week. 3-2, 5-4, and 2-1. A couple of times. Curve bounces away, ball 1. Haller catching. Brewer pitching. Ron Hunt at bat, number 33. He handles the bat. Very seldom pulls, but he did this time and hit the home run against Osteen right down the line. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike on the inside corner, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man out. We're in the 10th inning. Lefebvre's right on the foul line at third. Trying to stay out of the extra base hit now. Pitch. Screwball is low, ball 2, and it's 2-1 to Hunt. Osteen pitched a fine game. He allowed 1 run, 5 hits in 9 innings. McCormick allowed 1 run and 3 hits in 6 innings. Just missed with a fastball outside. 3-1 now to Ron Hunt. Three and one. Brewer checking with Mays on deck. Same situation that Hunt was in when he was up there against Osteen in the 8th inning. Then he hit the home run. 3-1 pitch. Inside around the knees, and he walked it. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The good son. KTAR.
Willie Mays, the batter. A single, a double, and he's grounded out twice. Mays up here in the 10th inning with 1 out and 1 on, and Mccovey coming up next. So Brewer now has put the go-ahead run on a walk. The Dodgers played the infield double, played up the pitch to Mays. Swung on and missed strike one, a big screwball. 0-1 the count to Willie. He has hit 600 home runs in his career. Strike one count. Now the look, and here's the throw to first base. Hunt gets back. 0-1 the count to Mays. Runner on at first, 10th inning. Giants bringing up the big artillery now. Another throw to first base, and Hunt is just back that time. So the big guns for the Giants. Mays, Mccovey, Bonds here in the 10th inning with 1 out and 1 on. Ball game tied at 1-1. Brewer set, and the pitch. Screwball bounced to third. Lefebvre up, down to second base. 1 on to first base. Double play. Mays hit one right down the line, and the Dodgers got a double play. Lefebvre was playing deep on the line. Set to Sizemore, went on to first base for the double play to retire the side in the 10th. Giants go down on a 5-4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left, and the score through 9 1/2. Giants won, the Dodgers won.
Say, anytime you lady fans fry up some lean, meaty Farmer John bacon for your family breakfast, you'll score a hit for sure. You see, Farmer John is the bacon with the winning flavor, and it has a medal to prove it. The gold medal. It won at the California State Fair. No other bacon tastes like Farmer John bacon. Farmer John smokes it and smokes it slowly and patiently over native western wood. So there's the genuine flavor of the West from tip to tip in every crackling crisp strip. And you can always count on Farmer John bacon being strictly fresh and fresh tasting. It's made from fresh eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live. Then it's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other pork is shipped in frozen or cold storage. Get a package of Farmer John bacon the next time you shop. Your very first taste will tell you why it's the most popular bacon in the West. Farmer John bacon, the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
Jimmy Lefebvre, Ted Sizemore, and Wes Parker now against Frank Lindsay, who has allowed 2 hits and no runs in 3 innings of work. So the two fellows from Oklahoma against each other now. The pitch to Lefebvre, a drive in the right center field. It's going to be in for a base hit. Might get through. Mays over to cut it off. Lefebvre holds on with a long single. Mays fires back in quickly, and Jimmy Lefebvre's on to open the 10th inning. Mays hustled over to cut that ball off and keep it from going through to the track. And he kept the Dodgers out of an extra base situation there. Teddy Sizemore coming up now. Sizemore has gone 0 for 3, and the Dodgers now perhaps to put the bunt on with Parker due next. Don McMahon down in the bullpen again for San Francisco as Sizemore waits. Here's the look, and he's around the bunt does. First base way, Mccovey up with it, and his play will be to first base in time, and Sizemore is out on the sacrifice. Lefevre goes into second base. Wes Parker will be the batter. Clyde King is coming to the mound now. They're going to have a meeting for the Giants. Sizemore has sacrificed Lefevre along to second base. Mccovey to hunt for the putout, and we'll see now what the Giants decide to do. Will they walk Parker? Pitch to Haller, of course, is next, or will they pitch to Parker and then hope they get him out and then take a chance on walking Haller and have Willie Crawford coming up? Or will he make a pitching change? Those are the possibilities as the Dodgers come up here in the 10th inning with a chance now to spoil the Giants. Clyde King delivers the message, claps his hands, and Billy Grabakowicz is going to go into the ball game as a runner for Lefevre at second base. So young Bill Grabakowicz will run in the 10th inning for Lefevre. So Lefevre opened it up with a single, and only a good defensive play by Mays kept it from going through for an extra base hit. So Lefevre comes out, and Grabakowicz will run for him. And the batter will be Wes Parker. They're going to put him on. Parker will be intentionally walked. So they're going to walk Parker and pitch to Tom Haller and hope to get the double play from Tom, and also will have Crawford after that. So an intentional pass coming up, and Haller, the ex-Giant, will get a chance to help sink him if he can. So we'll see how they react. McMahon and Bryant are in the bullpen, and we'll see if they're going to change pitchers and bring in a left-hander or let Lindsey pitch to Haller. So Tom Haller, the ex-Giant, coming up after the ex-Dodger Ron Hunt had tied up this game. So it might be a game of extras in an extra-inning contest. Haller the batter. The Giants now play the infield double play down. The Dodgers have Grabakowicz at second base, Parker at first base. Haller up now, trying to get him in. Haller came in as a hitter in the 8th inning and sacrificed. On deck, Willie Crawford. Frank Lindsey working 2 on and 1 out in the 10th inning. Score tied at 1-1. Here's the pitch on the way. Low for a ball, a sinker down low to Haller, 1-0. So a big ball game and a big spot now in the last half of the 10th inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Lindsey out of a stretch. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Knocked down at the plate by Bob Barton's ball 2. 2-0 the count now. As Lindsey gets a new ball, he goes behind on the count. 2-0 is the reading. 2 balls, no strikes. 10th inning. Hunt came in to talk to Lindsey, and now Barton goes out to talk to him. In the inning, Lefevre opened up with a single, was sacrificed along by Sizemore. Parker intentionally walked, and Tom Haller, the ex-Giant, up here now in the 10th. Mccovey, Hunt, Fuentes, and Davenport on the infield. Ball 2 and no strikes to Haller. On deck, Willie Crawford, and then Maury Wills. Here's the stretch and the look and the pitch on the way. Half swing, and he held up ball 3. 3-0 now to Haller. Three balls and no strikes. Haller waiting. Lindsey ready. The pitch on the way. Strike called. It's 3-1, and Haller looks again to Danny Ozark at third base. right, 3-1 to Tom. Grabarkowitz at second. Parker is at first. Lindsay working, 1 out. Here's the look and here's the pitch. He walked him. The bases are loaded and Willie Crawford is the batter. Willie Crawford coming up now with the bases loaded in the 10th inning. All right, the Giants have a meeting at the mound as Frank Lindsay is in trouble here. A single and 2 walks. They walked Parker intentionally, and now Haller was walked unintentionally to load him up. Mccovey and Hunt are talking to Lindsay at the mound. Crawford is the batter, and Clyde King is going to go with his right-hander against left-hander Willie Crawford. Crawford, of course, trying to get the run in, and Willie's batting average .251. He has 41 runs batted in. All right, King now is coming out, and we'll see if he's going to make a pitching change. He is. He's going to bring in a left-hander to pitch to Crawford. And now we'll see if the Dodgers switch and go to a right-hand batter. They have, among others, Bill Sudeikis, who is a switch hitter up there, and we'll see what the Dodgers do in this spot. So Clyde King is going to the bullpen. And he's going to bring in a rookie left-hander, Don Bryant. Bryant receiving some words of instruction from Larry Jansen, the pitching coach, and Bryant now will come in and take over the pitching here in a tight spot. So Ron Bryant coming on, and we'll check his record on the year. He has been in 14 games, 8 as a starter. His record is 4-2, and he comes in to relieve Lindsay. And the Dodgers are going to bring up Bill Sudeikis to hit in Willie Crawford's spot. We're in the 10th inning, and Bryant will be the pitcher. Bryant is from Davis. He was born in Redlands, played last year at Amarillo, was recalled just recently by the Giants from Phoenix. And he is coming into quite a spot here now. Ron Bryant. He went to Davis High School. Began his pro career in 1965. He's 6 feet tall, 185-pounder. Well, that's quite a spot for a young man. He comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out, and he will pitch now to Sudeikis and then to Wills. Sudeikis cannot do it. Clyde King is talking with second baseman Ron Hunt. And now Bryant will begin his warm-ups with Bob Barton as Billy Sudeikis comes up. Bill will stand by now as Barton begins to warm up. And now King is going to talk to his third baseman, Jimmy Davenport. He has already talked to Hunt. So King will talk to Davenport now. Davenport at third, Fuentes at short, Hunt is at second, and Mccovey at first. And for the Giants, this is a big moment, perhaps the biggest moment of their entire season. If they get out of this and pull this game out, they stay alive. If they do not get out of it, they are backed into a tough corner. Their magic number would be 2, as the Atlanta Braves have won their game today by a score of 4-2. So for the Giants, the season comes right down to a Saturday afternoon in Los Angeles on September the 27th. Bases loaded. Ron Bryant, a rookie left-hander, in to pitch to Bill Sudeikis. 1 out in the 10th inning. Lefevre opened it up with a single. Parker was intentionally walked after Sizemore had sacrificed. Haller walked And now Sudeikis will bat for Crawford as the Dodgers need a right-hand bat against the left-hand pitcher. Today, Cincinnati was eliminated by Houston 4-3, and now the Dodgers are trying to drive a deep nail into the Giants. They'll play the infield halfway back and the outfield shallow. Sudeikis up. Grabarkowitz at third carries the all-important run. So in the 10th inning, the Dodgers have it all on the line against the Giants, and Ron Bryant set to work to Sudeikis. All right, here we go. Bryant comes up to get a sign from Barton. Sudeikis waiting, hitting from the right side. Wills on deck, hoping he does not get a chance to bat, hoping that Sudeikis will end the game. Big crowd on hand to watch it. Bryant still taking his time. The sign, the windup, and the pitch on the way. Inside, almost hit him. Sudeikis backed out of there. The right-hand bat against the left-hand pitcher. Today, Cincinnati was eliminated by Houston 4-3, and now the Dodgers are trying to drive a deep nail into the Giants. They'll play the infield halfway back and the outfield shallow. Sudeikis up. Grabarkowitz at third carries the all-important run. So in the 10th inning, the Dodgers have it all on the line against the Giants, and Ron Bryant set to work to Sudeikis. All right, here we go. Bryant comes up to get a sign from Barton. Sudeikis waiting, hitting from the right side. Wills on deck, hoping he does not get a chance to bat, hoping that Sudeikis will end the game. Big crowd on hand to watch it. Bryant still taking his time. The sign, the windup, and the pitch on the way. Inside, almost hit him. Sudeikis backed out of there as the fastball crowded him, and it is 1 ball and no strike. Billy could have won it had he just turned that time. So it is 1 ball and no strike. Bryant pitching to Sudeikis. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. In the dirt. Bounced in front of home plate, ball 2. Can you imagine the pressure on youngster Ron Bryant's time now? Here comes Clyde King up to home plate. I think he's going to talk to the umpire, or maybe to his battery now, as they're out in front of home plate. King is going to ask for an appeal that Sudeikis swung at the ball, but of course it was not allowed by the first base umpire, Olson. And now the Giants try to slow down Ron Bryant and settle him down. Boy, the kid's really in the spot. 2 balls and no strikes to Sudeikis. Barton and Fuentes are at the mound talking to him. The veterans on the infield stay away. Hunt, Mccovey, and Davenport. Ron Bryant takes a deep breath. Young fellow has done well for the Giants this year, and he is in the spot of his life right now. So Bryant pitching to Sudeikis. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Low, ball 3. 3-0 now. The Dodgers are within 1 bad pitch of winning. Last week at Candlestick Park, 3 walks in an overtime game cost the Dodgers. And now the Dodgers are trying to return the favor. 3 balls, no strikes. Bryant pitching to Bill Sudeikis. Here is a look now for the sign. Sudeikis waiting. He probably has the take on. It is 3-0 and the pitch. Strike called. 3-1. Now we'll see. Time called. Alston wants to talk to his hitter. The manager's going to take no chances. He's going to talk to Sudeikis on a 3-1 count. So Walter Alston calls the hitter away. He's going to talk to him. The Dodgers, of course, want to win this game as badly as any ball game they've played all year. They would certainly like to dump the Giants right now. So Alston, going all out, is talking to Sudeikis. The conversation is over. Billy walks back to the plate, and we'll resume the tension in a moment. 3-1 is the count. Bill Sudeikis at bat. The infield is back. The outfield is up. 3-1 is Bryant. Ready to go again. 3-1. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Strike 2. A full count. 3-2. And Bryant will have to come down with it. And Sudeikis trying to drive in the run. Grabarka with the third carries the big one. And Bryant walks off the hill. And I'll tell you one thing. This place has a lot of nervous, fidgety people in it. And out in the middle of the diamond is youngster Ron Bryant. And he's right in the big middle of it all. 3-2 as Billy Sudeikis waits at the plate. Bryant now checking signs. This is the biggest pitch of the game, perhaps. 3-2 with one out, bases loaded. The windup and the pitch on the way to Sudeikis. Line stop. That shortstop, one out, the second one. The first base double play. Sudeikis had a one-hopper to shortstop Fuentes. He went to Huff, he went to first, and Bryant gets out of it. He was 3-0, and he gets Sudeikis to hit to a double play to retire the side in the 10th inning. The Dodgers are turned back with the bases loaded and one man out, and now walk slowly out toward the field. The end of 10, the score, the Dodgers won and the Giants won.
Attention, flight C-194, Hawaii to San Francisco is now ready for boarding. Please present your boarding.
You're listening to a very bright young woman who is living in Hawaii, working as an air passenger specialist and wearing United States Air Force blue. She's a wife, a woman in the Air Force. After high school, she decided she wanted to do something with her life. Learn a skill, have a job, travel, have plenty of vacation time, and meet some new faces. Quite a lot for a young woman just out of high school to ask for, but she knew what she wanted, and she enlisted in the Air Force. You can too if you're a young woman between the ages of 18 and 27, single and a high school graduate. The United States Air Force has more than 250 different jobs that they will train you for, in such areas as administration, communications, dental assistance, and many more. She knew what she wanted in life and got it. How about you? See your local United States Air Force recruiter. It's a great life.
All right, we go along into the 11th inning as the Giants really staved off disaster there. 3-0 the count to Sudeikis, and they finally got him on a double play, and the Giants are still alive, come to bat in the 11th inning. Let's go back to play. Here's Smith.
All right, Jerry, we'll check the Dodgers. Billy Grabarka, who ran for Jimmy Lefevre, takes over at third base. And playing right field and batting ninth is Von Joshua. So Jim Brewer, you remember, is sitting in the number 4 spot. So Joshua is in right field. The 11th inning, a 1-1 tie. I'll tell you one thing, you really have to lift your hat to that kid left-hander, Ron Bryant. He came in with the bases loaded and all the pressure in the world on him. There was no pressure on Sudeikis. Bryant went 3-0, then threw a strike, 3-1, threw another 3-2, and then Sudeikis hit the ball hard, a one-hopper at Fuentes, and there was the double play. So we're in the 11th, 1-1 tie, and Willie Mccovey to start it off. Mccovey has struck out twice, grounded out and walked. He's 0 for 3. Jim Brewer into the windup. The left-hander delivers, and it's swung on and missed. So the Dodgers got the double play ball on Mays, and the Giants got it on Sudeikis. And Mccovey, after a curve, didn't get it. 0-2. 0-2, the count to Willie Mccabe. A 1-1 tie in the 11th. Jim Brewer looks in to get a sign from Tom Haller. Now Jim ready in the strike 2 pitch on the way. Low ball 1-1-2. You might have wondered about Clyde King removing the veteran right-hander Frank Lindsay, a sinker ball pitcher at that, in favor of a youthful left-hander. The big report is that Frank Lindsay left with a pulled muscle. The 1-2 pitch, screwball, fouled away. One and two, the count to Willie Mccabe. So the Dodgers try to push the Giants under the water, and the Giants keep fighting their way back up on top. And the 1-2 pitch to Mccovey is strike 3 call. It looked like a slider. It certainly was not Brewer's screwball. That's the third time Big Stretch has gone down on strikes. And you know, whether you realize it or not, Mccovey is not a strikeout man. Even though he has 44 home runs and 123 RBIs, Mccovey does not strike out. And to get him 3 times in a game is really news. Bobby Bonds takes the screwball outside, ball 1. Bonds was caught looking at a 3-2 fastball in the 8th inning. He could have eaten his helmet. Now, Bob at the plate, he has 1 hit. He has struck out twice, fly to center, and doubled. Grabarkowitz plays him near the bag at third. 1-1 in the 11th. Brewer into the windup, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Screwball, swung on and missed. It is a tribute to the Giants and the Dodgers, and the feeling generated from the rivalry that this crowd is saying right here, they've seen a great ball game. And they have roared to the skies. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Bonds. Screwball hit up along third, foul, in the count 1-2. On deck, Jimmy Davenport. Brewer reading Haller. Jim into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch to Bonds. Screwball got him looking. That means that the heart of the Giant lineup, Mccovey and Bonds, have struck out 6 times between them. Here is Jimmy Davenport, 0 for 4, 3 ground balls and a fly ball to right. Each side, 1 run, 6 hits. Dodgers committing 1 error. It did not figure in the scoring. Brew delivers curveball, low and inside to Davenport. Ball 1. On deck is catcher Bob Barton. Brewer from the third base side of the rubber. The 1-0 pitch, fastball for a strike. In the count 1-1. When the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 11th, they have Wills, Mota, and Davis. But remember, the pitcher's spot, Brewer, hits number 4. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Screwball fouled at the plate, 1-2. Well, if you possibly can, we sure hope you'll be out here with us tomorrow. It's the last Giant-Dodger game of the year, and there's always something to see. It'll be Bill Singer going after his 20th against Juan Marichal. A 1 o'clock game, so if you possibly can, spend part of Sunday with us. 1-2 to Jimmy Davenport. Brewer checks Haller. Now to the windup, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Screwball high and outside, ball 2. Claude Osteen went 9. Brewer pitched the 10th and is working the 11th. Mike McCormick went 6. Frank Lindsay went 3 1/3. And then young Ron Bryant got the double play ball. The 2-2 pitch, screwball just high, and Brewer was walking off the mound. Oh, Jimmy will have to try it again. Brewer into the windup, and the 3-2 pitch. Screwball outside, ball 4. Bob Barton, the catcher, will be coming up. Barton hit a shot in the 9th inning that looked like a sure base hit, and Maury Wills, diving headlong, smothered the ball, and Barton, as a catcher, does not have any speed. Wills was then able to scramble to his feet and throw him out by plenty. So Barton at the plate with 2 down. Bob tying the laces on his left shoe. On deck, George Foster, the left fielder. Barton up there with 2 out in the 11th inning, a 1-1 tie. Right-hand hitting catcher, bends at the knees and the waist. Brew ready, delivers. Fastball. Low, ball one. 1-0. George Foster, youthful outfielder, on deck. Grabakowitz, deep at third. The pitch swung on and missed. 1-1 to Barton. Clyde King looking at his card. He's used 16 players in the game. One and one the count. Brewer ready, checks Davenport. Screwball swung on and missed. In checking over the Giants, they've used Hyatt and now Barton. And as we told you, Dietz is hurting. However, they have another catcher, Stevenson, left-hand hitting catcher. Barton now backs out for the moment. 1-2 to Bob. 1-1 tie in the 11th. Haller sets his target. Parker holding the bag on Davenport. Screwball outside. Ball 2. 2-2. Two and two the count. Now Brewer at the belt, and here he comes. Fastball lifted down the right field line. Foul. Joshua, I don't think, ever saw the ball, and it lands foul and goes in the stands. Joshua was running on a straight line towards the infield, and the ball had sliced considerably. And by the time he saw it, it was almost in the seats. Vaughn, I'm wondering, is these glasses. Yeah, he's hollering something into Sizemore, but he does have sunglasses on. And he's still checking with Teddy. A lot of times an infielder will help an outfielder by instinctively putting his hands in the air on a fly ball. Joshua might be asking for a little help. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Barton. Screwball fouled away. Foul ball. That got Haller on the right hand. So it's still 2-2. Joshua again cups his hands and hollers, and I'm sure now that he is asking Sizemore for a little help. On that foul ball, Joshua had no idea where the ball was. Had it been a fair ball, he really would have been in trouble. All right, 2-2 to Bob Barton. Brew ready, here he comes. Screwball low. So after striking out Mccovey and Bonds, he went 3-2 and walked Davenport, and now goes 3-2 on Barton. Brewer at the belt. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. It's Sizemore angling out on the grass and calling, fighting the glare, and making the catch. No runs, no hits, a man left. And at the end of 10 and a half, a 1-1 tie.
Look up for the brightest when you travel the west. Look up to 76. Keep your eye on the number that's above all the rest. Look up to 76.
3-1 to Maury Will. Ron Bryant, ready, turns on the rubber and delivers. And it's popped in the air, back of the plate. Here comes Barton. He's got to play. He's got it. So Maury Will fouls out. One away, and the batter, Manny Mota. Manny Mota has walked and flied to right, singled to left, and grounded out. He's 1 for 3. The Dodgers trying to do several things today, trying to snap an 8-game losing streak, a 6-game losing streak against the Giants, and scuffle the Giants. And the Giants are being extremely stubborn about it. Mota drops the bat. He swings so hard and sits down. Boy, he was going from the heels. 0-1. The Dodgers scored in the third inning and led 1-0 into the 8th. With 1 out, Osteen fell behind 3 balls and 1 strike to Ron Hunt. He had to come over, and Hunt reached the left field seats for his home run, his third of the year, to tie it up.
And we're now in the bottom of the 11th. The Dodgers had a potential winning run at second base with 1 out in the 8th. And, of course, the 10th inning had the bases loaded, 1 out, and a 3-ball, no-strike count on Sudeikis to score. 0-1 to Manny Mota. Bryant into the windup, and the strike one pitch on the way. Breaking ball hit the right field, sinking at the feet of Bobby Bonds for a base hit. For the Dodgers, 7 hits. That'll bring up Willie Davis. Willie is 0 for 4. He hit 3 fly balls to center field and a ground ball. And we'll see what he does against left-hander Ron Bryant. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jim Bunning begins to loosen out. Because Jim Brewer, remember, is in the number 4 spot. He hits after Willie Davis. Bryant looks at Mota. Kicks and comes to the plate, and a big curve is in the dirt. And a nice knee shuffle there by Bob Barton to stay with it. 1 ball, no strike. One and 0 to Willie. Now Bryant looks at Mota and decides to drive him back with a throw to Mccovey. One and 0, the count to Willie Davis. In the 11th, a 1-1 tie. Ron Bryant comes to the plate, and the fastball is low. Ball 2, 2-0. Ron Bryant is only 21 years old. He'll not be 22 until the 12th of November, although he had to age a little bit there in the 10th inning. He's from Redlands and lives in Davis, California. The 2-0 pitch by the left-hander to Willie Davis. 5-3. It's strange how he has worked. He came in to pitch to Sudeikis and went 3-0 and then got him to hit into a double play. He started on Wills and fell behind 3-0 and got him to foul out. And now after a base hit to Mota, he comes right back 3-0 to Willie Davis. It's dangerous, but so far, so good. The 3-0 pitch is a strike, 3-1. 3-1 to Willie Davis. We'll see if the Dodgers play a run and hit game now with Mota at first. Mccovey holding the bag as Manny takes his lead. Bryant looks at him, checks, still checking. Mota does not go, and the pitch is lined to left field. Base hit. Over to get it is Foster. Mota will stop at second base. So Johnny Miller is coming up to hit for Jim Brewer, but runners at first and second and 1 out, and the Dodgers have their second back-to-back game-winning rally. So Johnny Miller, who appeared as a pinch hitter in Cincinnati and hit a home run the other night, will now come up with 2 on and 1 out against left-hander Ron Bryant.
One of the Dodgers batting for Brewer. Number 43, John.
Clyde King is coming out. Walter Olson might be trying to force Clyde King's hand. He deals out Miller. King immediately follows by going to the bullpen where the veteran right-hander Don McMahon is getting ready. Now we'll see whether Walter withdraws Miller, who has been technically in the game, and comes right back with somebody like Len Gabrielson. We'll see. In looking in the Dodger dugout, for the moment at least, there is no one near the bat rack that we can see. The Dodgers have used Tom Haller Bill Sudeikis, Willie Crawford, Bill Russell, Billy Grabarkowitz. These are fellas who got in after the game started. Von Joshua. So that'll be all for Ron Bryant. And it'll be the veteran relief pitcher, Don McMahon, coming in. Don McMahon has been around a long time. He has certainly been accustomed to pressure. McMahon, who was born in Brooklyn, first came up to the big leagues in 1957. So this is his 13th year in the big leagues. McMahon has appeared in over 630 games. This year he's been in 12 games, so to update it a little, he's been in 642 games in his career. He pitched in the World Series in 57 for Milwaukee, in 58 for Milwaukee, and last year for Detroit. In his much-traveled career, Don McMahon has played with the Milwaukee Braves, the Houston Astros, the Cleveland Indians, the Boston Red Sox, the Chicago White Sox, the Detroit Tigers, and the San Francisco Giants. So McMahon comes in, and the anticipated move is made. We're not trying to act like a genius. These are fairly easy maneuvers to figure out. So McMahon comes in for Bryant, and Walter Alston immediately withdraws Miller, and Gabe will now hit for Miller. Miller has been in the game, in case you're wondering. He was announced, so that's all John does, a token appearance. Don McMahon, as he gets ready, is in his 13th game. He has won 3 and lost 1. His ERA exactly 3. And he comes in to face Len Gabrielson with Billy Grabarkowitz on deck. The Dodgers have left 5 men on through their 10 innings of at-bat. The Giants have left 9. Of course, you remember that extra inning ball game at Candlestick Park that the Giants eventually won. They left 16 men on in 9 innings, and when the Giants won the ball game on the ground ball that went through Will's legs, the bases were loaded, so the Giants were charged with 3 more left on base for a total of 19. Here's Len Gabrielson now, 2 on, 1 out. A 1-1 tie in the 11th. Gabe hitting .272. McMahon looks in to Bob Barton to get his sign. Tito Fuentes bird-dogging Mota a little bit to cut down his lead. And turning to throw is McMahon, but he fails to throw. He had no play. Mota with good running speed at second. Willie Davis at first. He's not quite up to par, of course, with a sore knee. The pitch to Gabe is hit into right center field. That's going to be a base hit, but Mota held up. Now they're going to wave him in. Here comes the throw. He scores. But Clyde King and Walter Alston played a little poker. And Walter Alston trotted out Johnny Miller. And Clyde King brought in Don McMahon. And that's what Alston wanted, as he then brought in Len Gabrielson. And Gabe singled to right center. And Mota scored, and the Dodgers win it 2-1. A near fatal blow to the Giants. For the Dodgers, 2 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. The Giants, 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. The magic number for the Braves, 2, a combination of Braves victories and or Giant defeats numbering 2, and it will be all over. And of course the Dodgers would love to be part of that 2 tomorrow, with Bill Singer going after his 20th and trying to beat Juan Marichal. That's at 1 o'clock, warm up at 12:40. So 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Giants. Jim Brewer, the winner, and Ron Bryant, the loser.